good evening, and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. Yes, we are at 18,495 subscribers. I wanted to get to 18,500 before the window slams shut, before the transfer window does slam shut. We are on the way. We are on the road again, as Celtic supporters do say, especially the ones that go to away games. We are on the road again. Yep, get the beers in, get ready to settle down for the evening. We are in for a transfer deadline day that we haven't seen at Celtic for many, many years. It is a transfer deadline day where we're going to bring in numerous amount of players, and there's still deals to be done. There is still deals to be done on this late transfer window for Celtic this year. There's suggestions that there has been a bid for Luke McGowan put in by Celtic. We'll talk about all that in a minute. I need to just sort out the light and such. That's a bit better. I don't blind myself so I can see. I need to change the screen to white screen. Anyway, how is all this evening? Let's jump into the comment section before we do anything. Before we do anything else on this live, it is going to be a long one. Make sure that you share it with your friends, get them on board. Trying to get as many people on as we can tonight, and let's just have a good night, because I think it's like the thumbnail said. Brendan Rodgers has suggested that this is his team. This is his team. This is the new Celtic. There is a new dawn. We spoke about this years ago when the previous manager came in, the previous manager who's going to scalp them in the Europa. We spoke about a new dawn years ago, but was that a false dawn? Was that a false dawn under Ange Postecoglou? Were we just waiting our time to make sure that we got the man, the legend, the leader that is Brendan Rodgers into the club? Maybe we needed that leader. Maybe we needed someone in the club that would give us that stability for 3 or 4 years. Maybe we needed someone into the club that would give us that devotion for 3 or 4 years. Maybe the board wanted someone into the club that would make sure they could hold a steady course for 3 or 4 years. They thought they had it with the previous manager, Ange Postecoglou, and it was going to be a new day and a new dawn and a new way of doing transfer business at Celtic. But last summer, that seen us go back to the old bad ways of bringing in 9 project players, and the majority of those players have now left the club or are in the process of leaving the club. And old faithfuls like Mikey Johnson came to the fore. Mikey Johnson, who has finally left Celtic to go to Wolverhampton, West Brom. Sorry, first cock up. We're only 5 minutes in. He does go to West Brom, but he has finally left the club. I think the fact that now that Brendan has had a year in at the club, and I think that now the fact that Brendan got rid of the people that were in the transfer department can only be good for Celtic. And it's Brendan Rodgers stamping his authority. It's Brendan Rodgers knowing that he has full backing of Dermot Desmond. It's Brendan Rodgers knowing the fact that Peter Lawwell cannot sell him off to the highest bidder this time round. He knows the fact that he knows the way that Celtic work, and we won't get every player. We won't get every player in that we want first time round, but we have a list. But Brendan Rodgers is more mature now, a bit like myself. He's not as he still wears his heart on his sleeve, and he still wants the best for Celtic. But he knows how this board works, and he knows that it's not going to get to him as much. It's not going to get to his mindset, and he's not going to fall out with them, because he knows at the end of the day, the long-term vision of Brendan Rodgers will shine through. The long-term vision that Brendan Rodgers wants for Celtic is the ultimate goal. The long-term vision that Dermot Desmond wants for Celtic is Brendan Rodgers' goal. And I think we have people in charge that are sometimes inadequate in their jobs. But when push comes to shove, they do get the job done. They do get the job done. So here, yes, you are going to hear it, is a little nod to the board for getting work done, and especially this late stage of the transfer window. We don't have to like them, we don't have to get on. And what's good about being a one Celtic fan's view is we all have our views. We all have our different opinions on the way that Celtic are run. We all have our different opinions on the players that come and go from the club. We all have our own special players. We all have our own favourite players. But the one thing that brings us together is Celtic Football Club. And that will never diminish. Today is an absolutely phenomenal day in the history of Glasgow Celtic. We've probably spent more money in one day than we've ever done in a long time. But what it does do is it paths the way for more success domestically. It makes sure that we try to keep a grasp of the domination that we've had for the best part of 20 years. Since Martin O'Neill walked through the doors, since Dermot Desmond turned around and told Peter Lawwell at a board meeting, I have your new manager. I don't trust the people they're trying to get in. I have your new manager. And he shouted on the assistant to open the door and say, welcome, Martin O'Neill. Since that day, Celtic have turned the corner. Celtic have upped their game. Whilst over the last 20 odd years, Celtic have went through periods of managed decline where they reduced the staff, the playing staff, they reduce the wages, they increase maximum profit if they can. But never have we lived in a time like we are living in just now. We thought back in 2012 there was no better time to be a Celtic fan, with the demise of the once laden club from Govan with their fake cash and their dodgy notes and their unpaid tax bills. We thought that demise was a fantastic day. And the hilarity that they've brought to the Celtic fans all around the world since then has been absolutely fantastic. But we're in a new era. We are in a new era. And this is Brendan Rodgers 2.0. And this is his time. And this is the time where we finally get our finger out in this transfer window. We stop buying in prospect players. We stop being mediocre, hopefully, in the Champions League. Hopefully, this year, it brings us some new quests in the Champions League, some new goals. Plenty of goals, hopefully. Can we improve our form in the Champions League and go forward under Brendan Rodgers? Brendan Rodgers still has his doubters. Brendan Rodgers still has people in the Celtic fan base that think that he's never done it in Europe since he's been in management. What makes it any difference now? I think the new format gives Celtic an absolutely fantastic opportunity. An absolutely fantastic opportunity to progress and amass more points than we have in a very long time. We are just at the beginning of this project. Let's not forget that. We're only 1 year into this new Celtic under Brendan Rodgers. So let's not dismiss the fact that we are only 1 year into this new dawn. The false dawn of what happened after there was no fans at Celtic Park and Celtic adhered to all the rules and we lost the league that season. And it was disappointing, to quote the one and only Tavernier. Yes, Tavernier, who thought he was world champion beaters. Yes, the manager who went on to work in England and failed. The manager of the Sevco who then went off to go to Saudi. How stupid are they? But tonight is all about Celtic. It is all about what Glasgow Celtic can do. We've got a couple of players in, and we've got more to go. There's a lot of transfer business still to be done, and Brendan Rodgers spoke about it today. And I think we all believe in the manager now, even the doubters that didn't want him back last summer, even the doubters that when he said to them on the footsteps of Celtic Park, to those who do not believe in me, I will see you here at the end of May. And for that, Brendan Rodgers, we drink Hun Tears tonight. Yes, the 2024 edition of Hun Tears is well underway. It's a fabulous bouquet let's jump into the chat. Let's jump into the transfer section. I've been rabbiting on for about 9.5 minutes now. There are 435 people on, and it's going to be a fabulous night. A lot of transfer business still to do. There is transfer business that has been concluded, but not confirmed by Celtic as yet. And I think Celtic are just going to do it all in one go. Will Celtic manage to get Luke McGowan in the door? Will Celtic get Alvin Sanchez in the door in a late deal? It's all to be said, but whatever happens, I think ultimately Brendan Rodgers will be happy with the end of the transfer window. It has not been a perfect transfer window by no means. It's not been the ideal transfer window as Celtic fans would have wanted. It's not been the ideal transfer window that Brendan Rodgers would have wanted. When we think back to when the team came back only 3 weeks after winning the Scottish Cup final at the end of May, and they amassed once again, after the Euros had finished, even before the Euros had finished, some of the players had amassed at Celtic Park, at Lennoxtown, and undertook the work for the new season. Brendan Rodgers, the management team, the staff, the coaches sat down and passed out a new way for Celtic this year. A new way of defending, a new way of attacking, a new way of breaking down the low block, a new way of breaking down the anti-football that is in Scottish football, but then also a new way of playing in Europe, a more defensive way of playing in Europe, a new way of trying to achieve targets in Europe, a new way of not just being happy at being in Europe and being in the Champions League and going along and having a good old swally and singing "This is the day that we win away," only for them to score in the 21st minute, and then that's it. The Celtic fans are no longer singing that song. Maybe there's going to be change. And I think this year gives us hope. It does give us hope. And anyway, right, time to jump into the comment section and see who is all in this live this evening. Right, first up was Paul Baird, hail, and Mad Manic. I'm going to see if I can turn that screen up a bit. Was in the house. Andrew O'Hare was in the house. From Whelan Garden City. Stephen Johnston. Stephen Johnston's in the house also. John Cullen's in the house. Hail troops. Anglin Ayrshire's in the house. Rangers changed name after another rebuild, and they now recall themselves Lego. Joseph Davison is in the house. Sean Mahon's in the house. Liz Donnelly's in the house. Even you, Liz, saying evening everyone, and evening to Stephen. If you can, all reply to Stephen with emojis. And Stephen says, big shout out to Lorna Gallagher, Joseph, Easton Baz and fellow Towns. Martin says, hail Baz from Stockholm. From Stockholm this evening. We are all around the world. Yes, and I noticed that there's been a few other podcasts from the other side starting to suggest that we're all around the world. It's always good to be copied, and it's always good to be, and you take it as a compliment. It used to be the case that I would get annoyed when people copy things that you do online. Having had an online business since 2010, it really used to get to me a bit. And when I was a bit in my younger days. In my younger days, when I was first online, and people copy the exact same stuff as you do, and they try to, but it shows one thing, that what you're doing is good and what you're doing is the way to go. So, yes, to the Celtic fans all around the world, we know that we were the first to term that term, Celtic fans all around the world, and not just Celtic fans, but any fans. A little nod to the other team across the city who have started to say, we've got fans all around the world as well, it's fucking the big crushes everywhere. We are the people. Well, what are the people? We are the people, you anyway, Justin says, evening Baz and fellow Sims. Martin says, hello from Stockholm. Stephen Johnson's in the house. David Hislop's in the house. Nicola McCarthy is in the house. Hail from Milton Provost. Come on, you black and tans. Come on, then fight me like a man. Show you I for you won medals down in Flanders. Joseph said that he's buzzing for Sunday. Yes, we are all buzzing for Sunday. We're going to listen to the one and only Chris Sutton about Sunday, and we're also going to listen during the next couple of hours. We're going to listen to what Brendan Rodgers said today during the interview, and it's probably the real reason is I'm away for the Well, let me just check that one. So anyway, right, moving on. Paul Beard says, Ange, another chance to slap the zombies, I believe. Yes, Ange gets another chance to slap the zombies. Dave is coming in from North Berwick. Right, let's get ready to go. That was me. Ian McKenzie says, just scored 4 Oasis tickets. Ian McKenzie. Just scored 4 Oasis tickets. Scotty Boy says, Evening Baz from Cowdenbeath. Do you think they're done in the transfer market? Not at all. We've still got at least 2 players to come in this evening. One, I believe, will be the player from Dundee, and one will be a other. We obviously know the 2 players that are coming in, and they're on their way. Well, they'll be in Glasgow just now. They'll be getting their photographs taken, and Brendan, the media team, will get ready to release that information imminently. It'll be before 11 o'clock. Maybe Celtic are trying to get everything in at one time. Who knows? One Baz says, please don't sing, says Dave. Too late, man. I've already done it. Evening Boys and Girls says, Hoobity Dog. Ian McKenzie says, and the buns on Sunday. Yes, it'll be a beautiful Sunday. It's always a beautiful Sunday. If you remember, if I can think back to even the first time Martin O'Neill played the Sevconians, and it was a fantastic game, and we absolutely gubbed them. The pressure is all. We're not even going to talk about that yet. We'll talk about that later on. And there's lots to talk about before we talk about the game on Sunday. Hail Hail Stephen says, Nicola. Um, Adrian Gunn. Adrian Gunn is in the house. Adrian, when you back over? Are you over this weekend by any chance, Adrian? Because I could be down at. I'm looking to go down to Paddy's for the game. Because what I'm trying to do is try to get around all the clubs locally at the first quarter of the season. Hail, hail, says Kieran. And Paradise Found says, Stephen, what is NM? And that's basically Stephen just replying to someone, Craig, when he puts someone's initials in. Stephen has impairments, so he only really replies with. He's one of the fantastic members of this club, and he only replies with letters and emojis. So he does have impairments, and that's all you need to know, really. And that's we do put a special announcement. We do put a lot of effort into Stephen because not everyone can read and write. Not everyone has the mobility that we have, and we should feel lucky that we do. So when we have fans within our support that do not have the life that we do, we treat them special and we make sure that they're loved within this channel. It's one thing that we will always do on this channel. Paradise Found says that. Craig says, Evening Baz. Chris is Hail Hail Tam Mac. I don't know what he said. Who really cares? Says, Evening everyone. Tam Mac says, Hail Hail. I'm ready, Baz. Proud of you, says Desmond Donnelly. John says, Hail Hail from a sunny, toasty Cowdenbeath. So you're back for your holidays then, John. Simon Island says, Stephen and Baz, give us a bit of old news. Hail, Stephen and Baz, give us a bit of old news. There was once a team, a very proud team in Scotland, and they were called Third Lanark, and they went bust and died. And then along follow the route was a club called Rangers, and they went bust and died and managed to wangle their way back into the SFA and wangle their way back into football and managed to wangle their way into not going up through the system like everyone else does. And the corruptness of the SFA was unbelievable. There's old news. Simon Island say, good news. Good news. Good news. Will McGowan get a game at Celtic, says Joseph. That is the question for Brendan Rodgers to answer. And I think that the fact that he is being brought in, you heard Brendan Rodgers' interview this afternoon, the fact that he is, I need to slow down a bit. We've got a long night to go. I need to go and take some Piriton. I think that, right, let's just slow it down a bit. Let's not get overly excited. There's not been any announcements just yet. Will McGowan get a game, says Joseph. Yes, he will, because Brendan Rodgers. I think Brendan Rodgers will change the formation slightly also, because when you see the players that's coming in, it doesn't really a 4-3-3 is going to leave a lot of players sitting on the bench going, I want my time on the pitch. Will Brendan Rodgers ultimately change away from 4-3-3? Will he go to a 3-5-2? That's a big question that no one's asked Brendan Rodgers. With the players, one of the questions I would have asked today was, with the players that are coming in, is there any chance of being a change of formation to the way that Celtic play? And will you change to a 3-5-2 domestically? And maybe not, and maybe even in European football, because that three can then go to a back five, which will make us much more defensive. And I think that although we only have the two strikers, you're going to say, look, if you play a 3-5-2, you're leaving yourself short up front. You've nobody to come on. Well, we've got Dyson to come on. And let's just wait till we get to the end of the window, and we'll talk about this tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, after the games have finished, the 5 p.m. games, the games that all finish at 4:45. We could talk about it tomorrow in depth, because the time that the transfer window shuts tonight, there'll be so many questions that Celtic fans will want to ask and will want answered. It is important that we discuss those questions, because I think it's going to be a fantastic time. I honestly think it's going to be a fantastic time. And yes, I did bemoan the fact that the transfers did take so long. And I was right to say that, look, the way that we're going, it's not the way that Brendan wanted. But anyway, let's get back into the comments. Hello, everyone, says Anne Marie. Andy says, here we go, boys and girls. John says Buckfast is getting cracked open right now, all over Scotland to watch the fun tonight. Hail, hail, Baz from Motherwell. Can't wait. Fantastic bus comes out. That's no Motherwell, is it? It's Bells Hill. Bells Hill, the bus comes out. Yeah, the cracking bus comes out of Bells Hill, which is just right next to Motherwell. Desmond Donald says Brendan on and Brendan on the one Celtic fans view trust. Yep. Louisiana starting to buzzing for the derby, says David. Hail, hail from Louisiana. David says, hail, hail, everyone. Chilpel, I like McGowan. I've said it all along. Yeah, you have Chilpel. So is Lanky. I don't know if the Lanky's on tonight. I've got loads of comments to get through yet. Hail, hail, Baz from Kentucky. Now living in my native New Jersey and working in New York City. Let's get into them on Sunday. Big shout out to James Beattie. There's lots of Celtic fans jumping on the channel tonight from all around the world, which is absolutely, I love it. Buzzing, buzzing. I think I'm going to get an interactive map somehow, and then we can put on exactly where everyone comes from on the channel. I think that'll be the way to go. Where is this boy? Said Obi Boy and Brendan, we trust. Scotty Boy says, even into the One Celtic Fans View family, and to our CSC number 1 on the line. Virtual go, hail, hail, Baz from Cownbeath. Come on, the hoops. And to Stephen. Big shout out to Stephen. Gary says, Baz, are you going to Liverpool game? No, because we're not playing a Liverpool game. That Gary's away for a Pokemon wank. Come on, hoops. Baz, you're not going to sing? No, I'm not going to sing. I think the board had to back Brendan this time round, or he would have walked. I wouldn't have blamed him. Oh, why is that disconnected? Oops, that was close. Let's jump through some of the comments. Awata is Awata a loan deal? There's speculation that Awata is going to be sold for 820 odd thousand. But I've not had we've not seen any confirmation. That Paul Bear says Europe will tell what Brendan Rodgers is about this season. Don't kid yourself, said Paul. Paul, are you coming round to finally accepting that Brendan Rodgers will be here for the next 2 seasons? Are you coming round to the fact that Brendan Rodgers could be here for 5 in a row? Maybe even 6. And we that's not even start getting ahead of ourselves. 800K, and he's been sold. I've been too busy looking at all the comments on this to be looking at anything else online. We need a Scotland only channel on the telly so that we can see what's going on. Evening Baz and Celtic fans all around, says George. Miles is saying, what have I missed? 20 minutes of me talking through yeah, I'm going to jump through the comments. I think I've got everyone. That's Jason Lee says, if we get to the Champions League, Brendan Rodgers will be remembered fondly. If you do well in the Champions League, Brendan Rodgers will be remembered fondly. I think he will that. If you need help with a map, Baz, James Beattie says you'll need help with that map. Yeah, I know. I'll need help with the map. Up the Celts, up the Bars. Top Boy Zhead from Castle Milk Boys, Celtic Supporters Club. Yep. Right, I'm jumping through. Celt 88 is in. The green screen nearly broke Baz and exposed what lives in the flat in Saltcoats. The green screen nearly broke. No, it didn't. Eh? Not in the mood for shite tonight. You're in a timeout. See you in 10 minutes. The green screen really broke. Yeah, because it's the green screen. Anyway, in fact, do you know what? Nah, he's on a timeout. Can't be asked with fucking arseholes tonight. We've got too long a night for this to be dealing with any nonsense, and you will just be put on timeout. So fucking don't care. Don't care. Fuck off. There you got, mate. 26 minutes without saying the F word. Fucking green screen. Fuck off. Anyway, I don't have to be a fake channel. Oh dear. Right, Baz, that's outrageous behaviour. Get him back. Fuck off. No. Fuck off. I'm not taking any piss tonight. None at all. It's going to be far too long a night. Far too long a night. In Prague Airport, waiting to head home. Someone started drinking early. Lol. Nope, I've not. That is Aquarius, which is... It's like an isotonic drink. It's pretty much what Celtic drank when they were in America. Lorna Gallagher's laughing at the fact. Language. Fuck off. Take it as simple as that. Fuck off, and fuck off. Anyway, right, let's move on to the Celtic chat and see exactly what is happening. Mikey Johnson has left Celtic and joined West Brom Albion in a deal worth around 3 million. Celtic have managed to get 3 million for Mikey Johnson. Mikey Johnson has left Celtic. Will it be a cricket score this evening? Has been one of on Sunday. Will it be a cricket score on Sunday as we sit on 18,496? And I don't care if it jumps up and down because I'm just going to keep saying fuck off to fucking idiots because I'm not giving a shit. It's my rules. My rules apply. Anyway, if you don't like it, fuck off. It's as simple as that. It's not television. This is YouTube. This is reality. Anyway, that's enough of this nonsense. Right. The one and only Chris Sutton has been talking to the media about the game this weekend. We'll talk about that because before we get into any transfer talk. And big Chris Sutton has been talking to the media. And let me just make sure that I've got the volume turned up for this. Just do this. With that there. And desktop, get that up, and then we should be able to hear Chris Sutton.
Celtic are the clear favourites, but you just don't know in these games. Philippe Clement is, I think, under a fair bit of pressure in terms that he's never beaten Celtic as Rangers manager. Last season, I think the games were, other than the sort of the moral victory game where Rangers drew, they were decided by the odd goal. Brendan Rodgers' record against Rangers is phenomenal. Celtic have had a great pre-season. They've had a really comfortable start to the season. They've played some great moral victory game. But I think there'll be Rangers players and the manager. They will have feel that they have a point to prove. There'll be the disappointment of getting knocked out of the Champions League. Of course, but they can look back at last season and maybe think that the games were close. And I mean, who knows? It's at Celtic Park. There are no away fans in. I suspect Celtic to edge it. I don't think, as much as I'd like it to be a cricket score, I don't think it will be a cricket score, though.
It's
And
not going to be a cricket
I think
score.
it'll be quite a close one.
It will that. It'll be a close one, says the one and only Chris Sutton. And I think it'll be a close one this Sunday also. I think it'll be a close one Sunday also. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. Do you think that it's going to be a cricket score? Do you think it'll be a cricket score? Or do you think that it's going to be quite a close game? Even though that Celtic are going to make quite a few announcements later on this evening. Sutton is loving the fact that TikTok Todd has disappeared. Yes, TikTok Todd has disappeared over the horizon. The man that was going to come in and dominate Scottish football. The man that was going to come in and dominate Scottish football. The one and only Chris Sutton says, I bet you Callum McGregor is breathing a sigh of relief this evening. Good luck to Todd. He needs to start doing his talking on the pitch. He's gone to a great club. Oh, Jesus. And he also thinks it was an easy draw in the Champions League. Do you think it's been an easy draw for Celtic in the Champions League? Or do you think it's been a draw that might bring up a few surprises for Celtic? Will they manage to get the away victories that they need? Will they manage to amass the points that will help the coefficient for next season? And I hope that that has to be the main objective, is that it helps that we win games, enough games to help the coefficiency, so that we do not have to keep on continually go through qualifiers to get into the Champions League. I want Celtic to be in a position where we'll automatically qualify. But for us to be in that position, we do need other Scottish teams to do a little bit better in Europe. But we have to do better in Europe ourselves. We have to do a lot better. Let's not put it on other teams to carry us forward, because there's obviously one team on the other side of Glasgow that said that they have carried Scotland on the coefficient for the last couple of seasons. But I think that this is the time where Celtic can really make a showing in the Champions League and show teams around the world that Celtic Park is a place that you can come, you can play football, and a bit like when it was under Martin O'Neill, and even as much to say a little bit under Gordon Strachan, not so much under Gordon Strachan, but when you think of beating Barcelona with the one and only Neil Lennon, what a fantastic evening that was. Can we replicate those evenings once again? Can we make Celtic Park a place where away opponents come into the ground, and for the first 10 minutes of the game, they're going, oh my God, what the hell have we walked into? Have we walked into hell on earth? Have we walked into a cauldron of fear? Have we walked into this place they call it paradise? We call it, what the hell is the noise? As the man on the mic at the beginning of the match says, let's make some noise for the boys. And then the stadium erupts. Absolutely erupts. This is what we need continually in the Champions League this season. And I think James Beattie coming in with a super chat to say F off. YouTube wouldn't let me write it. It's run by Huns. Yeah, and more than likely it is run by Huns. And thank you, James. If you do want to get noticed, the easiest way to get noticed is obviously on the super chat. I do try and pick out the members that are members, because they have the little emojis, so it makes me easier to pick out the members. If you aren't a member and you want to be a member of the channel going forward, it's not for everyone. Not everyone wants to be part of a family, and not everyone wants to feel part of the One Celtic Fans View. My goodness, I'm just looking at another channel and it's not even yet. It's got 1,200 people waiting, and the video hasn't even started yet. I tell you, that's weird. I mean, Celtic, we think that we think that we're a big club, but when I look at the stats of other YouTubers from other leagues, I mean, they are truly worldwide, and it's the numbers are phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. but can Oliver get to those type of numbers? No, not at all. Not at all. So anyway, big shout out to James Beattie, who tried to say fuck off. Wouldn't you let him write? YouTube wouldn't let him write it. It was run by Huns. It more than likely is. Maybe not maybe not Huns, but definitely Masonic types of people. Baz, could you please do a live on Sunday from a pub in Spain? I'm going to do a live after the game. The problem with doing a live in some of the pubs is they play music after the game, and that doesn't help me because it gets the video demonetized. There is one pub that I could probably do it in. It won't be from inside the pub. I spoke to the missus about this before the live tonight. Ultimately, I would have loved to have done a live this evening from a Celtic bar. There is one Celtic bar that I probably could have done it from, the Hoops bar down in Guardamar. I think that Kev that runs that bar now, he'd have been right up for that. But I don't know how many non-Celtic fans would be in there tonight. And then that there comes the problem in this area. The other big supporters club in this area is down at Paddy's Point. You could never do a Celtic live from inside the pub there because they play music. And as soon as the game finishes, you don't even get to hear what the manager says because they turn it over to an English game straight away. So it's an Irish pub, but it's not really it's a Celtic supporters club's run for there. And it's a fantastic club and I love the club. I love everyone down there, but they turn the telly over far too quick for me. But anyway, Desmond Donnelly laughing at Carly. It's not green now, boo. What's not green now? Now, extra penalty time. Keep the zombies out. Has there zombies been in? If there's zombies been in, there should be enough moderators on tonight. Paul's on. Who else is on? Paul Baird is on. Lanky, I don't know if he's on or not. Lorna's on. Yeah, there's two moderators on, so if there's any uns, make sure that you get rid of them. Anyway, that was Chris Sutton talking earlier about what he thinks will happen this weekend. Oh, we've not even thought about that yet. We've not even thought about that yet. Wait a minute. I've just got a message. Celtic Park. Trusty is in Celtic Park. Trusty is in Celtic Park. He has been pictured. He has been pictured at Celtic Park. Austin Trusty has got the strip on and he's getting his photographs taken right now in Celtic Park. And that was a couple of hours ago. Fuck's sake, mate. That was a couple of hours ago. There's no breaking news. So Trusty is in the door. Well, we knew that anyway. We knew that Trusty was flying up today along with Arne Engels. We're just trying to see if there's going to be any update. Dundee have rejected a fourth bid from a Hibernian from Luke McGowan. That's breaking news. Breaking news for you. Right, Dundee have rejected a fourth bid for Luke McGowan for £800,000. Wow. There you go. Celtic have made an approach and are still considering making an official bid for the 26-year-old. Celtic are going to leave this late. Celtic are going to go in and slap $1 million down. They're going to wait and try and make sure that Hibs, they'll see what Hibs can go to. Hibs are not going to be able to go over £1 million. But the fact that Dundee have rejected a fourth bid, they must know that Celtic are sitting there. It's been suggested that Luke McCowan has said that he wants to go to Celtic. A good lad. Good lad. It's suggested that he wants to go to Celtic, so they will be sitting, waiting. They will know exactly what's going on. They'll know that Hibs will try and make as much chances as possible for them to grab the player under Celtic's nose. They will put the official bids in. As where Celtic have still got a couple of hours left. It is only 8 o'clock. Celtic Park. How's the telly at the wrong? How's the telly at that? I've got everything's at a different time. It's only 8:05. Oh, we've done it! Take a bow, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Might even crack open this little bottle of 67. We have done it. We have done it. Special shout out to all the Celtic fans tonight because we have done it. I asked the question, can we get to 18,500 before the transfer window shuts? And what's this? It will jump down about 100 subscribers in the morning. We are trying to get to 20,000 before the end of the year, but I wanted to get to 18,500 before the transfer window closes. The transfer window closes in 3 hours' time. The transfer window closes in 3 hours' time, and we have got to the 18,500. So a big round of applause to everyone who has subscribed to the channel, and a special thank you to everyone. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I mean, I know that I can have a moan on this channel, and I can know that I can be a little bit grumpy sometimes, and I know that I don't take any shit. But this would not be possible. This would not be possible. It would not be possible without all you guys. Do you know the numbers that this channel gets would not be possible. The fact that the channel has done this month, the channel this month has surpassed what I expected it to do. Has surpassed what I expected to do. My target for the channel this month was 600,000 views. And with still a day to go tomorrow, we're currently sitting at 603,800 views as of yesterday. That's not today's video. That's not including today. We're sitting at around about 25,000 views for today. That's not possible without you guys watching this channel. And I thank you. Thank every single one of you. Because really, this channel, it's not about me. This channel is about one Celtic fan's view. And I'm only a small part in the cog. I'm only the guy that presses go live. I'm only the guy that brings to you the news that anyone can get. I'm only the one that creates the conversation. And I think that we've grown a fantastic community here. And it's a community that I'm proud of. And it's a community that, my God, absolutely my God. And I can't even read the comments because everyone on this channel is just so bloody amazing. From people like Stephen, who have joined the membership. Do you know? And I always remember the very first message from Stephen's carer, telling us that Stephen couldn't reply to messages, and people that have died, subscribers, over the past year. With 2 hours 51 minutes to go in the transfer window, ah, God. It's a roller coaster of an evening for Celtic fans. It is a roller coaster of an evening for Celtic fans because Celtic have still got some business to do. Yes, we still have business to do. And Brendan Rodgers, he thinks that this is his team, and he knows that it's his team. I'm just trying to find something. That one, is it? Yes, that one. I'm trying to find that one right now. Brendan Rodgers, he thinks that this is finally his team. This is the team that he wants. This is the team that he has amassed. This is the team that he thinks will do better in the Champions League. This is the team that ultimately will be his legacy. This is the team that Brendan Rodgers thinks will be his true legacy. Brendan Rodgers is putting things in place in the background of Celtic that will surpass his management. That will surpass his management. That will surpass his management and will carry on for years to come. And I think that's what is important about what is going on with Celtic right now. The big news of the night is obviously the fact that we have My God, we have done it. We have hit. It's fucking hard. We've hit 18,507. You know the next target. The next target is the big 2. It is the 20,000, and it's just amazing. It is. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. Just a council lad for Fife. Just a council lad for Fife. The son of a miner. The son of a coal miner. And that's it. That is it. It's the son of a coal miner from Fife. It's mad. It is absolutely mad. And it just keeps on going up and up and up and up. 18,508 subscribers. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed this evening. Anyway, we've got a roller coaster of a night to go. We are not finished yet. Keep on going. Celtic status. Celtic have just updated Celtic Football Club. Celtic Football Club have announced a new option in defence. We're delighted to announce the signing of American international defender Austin Trusty on a 5-year deal. Subject to international clearance. Welcome to Celtic, Austin Trusty. Deal done. Deal done. We have done it. We have got a defender in the door. That's the first one in for this evening. Just 2 minutes ago, Celtic did announce the fact that Austin Trusty is in the building. Welcome to Celtic, Austin Trusty. We now have 2 defenders from the good old US of A. We are the global brand of Celtic Football Club. After the amazing news that we have just hit the 18,000 and odd subscribers, the 18,500, Celtic come out with the announcement of a done deal. Done deal, we've done it. Austin Trusty is in the door. Amazing news, absolutely fantastic news. Next up has to be the big one, the big money spend. The big Arnie Eagles is in the building, and will he, managers and players go, but their fans remain? Yes, this is very true. Managers and players do come and go, but the fans remain. As an American, I'm so proud of Karen Carter Vickers, says Jason Lee. 360 to go, says Desmond Donnelly, because he wanted us to get to that 1888 number. We are all here for you to support your amazing channel, the number one Celtic channel. Hail, hail, Baz, says Funky Ninja. Thank you for that. Thank you, honestly. 1888 is the next target. If we get to 1888, we can't stop it there. We can't stop it there. Celtic waited for Clyde to go off before announcing it. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, now that Clyde's off the air, it's not an exclusive by me because Celtic have announced it, but Celtic have put out on their social medias and their website. So let's update the teams. Let's update the team and see if Trusty is in the team. He's not there just yet. Mikey Johnston, though. Mikey Johnston is off the team sheet. Mikey Johnston is off. And to the person today, somebody said to me today that I needed to get a grip, talking about Liam Shaw being a first team member. Well, see, when you go into the Celtic website, right, and you click on teams, go to CelticFC.com, click on teams, and then you can click on men, the B, the academy, the women, the management, the legends. The goalkeepers are Casper Schmeichel, number 1. Number 12 is Sinisalo. Number 29 is Scott Bain. Number 2 is Alistair Johnston. Number 3 is Greg Taylor. Number 4 is Liam Scales. Number 11 is Alex Avali. Number 17, who hasn't left the building as yet, Celtic are trying to get him out on loan, is Mark Nobrowski from Poland. Yeah, one and only Polish. Vickers is our number 20. Anthony Ralph is our number 56, and Stephen Welsh is our number 57 in defence. Number 15 in midfield is Odom Owen. Tomoki Awata, who looking likely that he might go out on loan this evening, also is number 24. Number 28 is Paolo Bernardo. Number 30 in the squad is Liam Shaw on the first team squad. So the guy that said, get a grip today, well, you better tell Celtic, because he was like, get a grip, even talking about Liam Shaw, even talking about Liam Shaw as a first-team player, fucking ridiculous, man. Rio Hatate is our number 41, Callum McGregor's 42, and Jamesy Forrest, the legend, the absolute legend on the wing. And talking about legends on the wing, It's the one and only Bobby Lennox birthday today. Yes, it was Bobby Lennox's birthday today. And I'll still never forget the first time meeting Bobby Lennox with my dad, meeting him in his pub and being in his house. And I had no idea who this geezer was. Not a clue. Not a clue. Not a clue. Not a clue who he was. But he was a player that was a legend for Celtic. And it's his birthday today. I believe he's 81, getting to a grand old age. My dad and all his mates are getting old. They're all getting old. Anyway, Baz, loved that picture of you put up today from Twitter. It showed Mikey Johnson for 3 million. The Huns are basically saying that's more than half our team. Exactly, Tarmac. It was absolutely. I mean, I seen it when I saw it. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Anyway, where was I? I was talking about the team, wasn't I? So going to the forwards. The forwards in the team, as it stands this evening, is the one and only Lewis Palmer at number 7, Kyogo number 8. Manchester City have come out and said, look, we're not going to make a bid for Kyogo during this window. Number 9 is Adam Ida. Number 10 is Nico Kuhn. Number 13 is the one and only Hun Yang. And then there is the man, probably the most family orientated man that shows his family off in such a loving way on Instagram. And it's the one and only Dyson. The one and only Dyson Maida, number 38. So yeah, that is the squad as it stands just now. But we've just had a new addition. We have had a new addition to the squad. And Trusty isn't on the team sheet as yet. But they were waiting for the one and only Big Norobski to bugger off on loan before they replace him. It'll be interesting to see what number he does get. All that Celtic have put out is the fact that they have welcomed him on board. Now you'll expect them to do all the video stuff to be put out. Austin Trusty joins on a 5-year deal. Celtic Football Club is delighted to announce the signing of American international Austin Trusty from Sheffield United on a 5-year deal. Subject to international clearance, which is always with these deals. It's just a bit of paperwork. The 26-year-old central defender began his career in the United States before playing for Philadelphia Union, Colorado Rapids, in the Major League Soccer before joining Birmingham City on loan. In 2003, he moved from Sheffield United, where he made 32 appearances in the Premier League across the season of 2023 to 2024. Trusty has represented his country at under-17, under-20 FIFA World Cup, and last year he was capped twice for the US national team. Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers says, we are so pleased to sign Austin. And he is a welcome addition to the squad. He's quick, he's strong, athletic defender with ability and good experience. A player who's done really well to make his way from the USA to the national squad in America. We're really looking forward to working with Austin. I know he's really excited to be joining Celtic, and I look forward to facing the challenges and playing part in what we strive to bring the success to our fans once again. Speaking exclusively to Celtic TV after joining the Scottish champions, Trusty said, I feel ecstatic, just such a historic and amazing club. It's a club I've known since I was a little kid. Growing up in Philadelphia, football wasn't such a popular sport, but I knew Celtic. Well, and it's a dream come true to join this massive organisation. The defender says that he's spoken to Brendan Rodgers and he's excited to meet his new teammates. He added, the manager told me to be my best that I can be. And that's off the pitch. As a teammate, just give everything on the pitch. He said he believes in me. He believes in everything I can do. It's up to me. He'll provide me with an environment where I can thrive as a player. I'm looking forward to meeting all the guys. And from what I've heard, it's a great environment to be around this club. I'm so looking forward to it. Austin Trusty on his announcement by Celtic to being a Celtic player. Coming out of Philadelphia, I mean, you think about some of the things that have happened in Philly over the years, some of the hurricanes that have hit Philadelphia, the fact that it made so many people homeless. And I think that he'll get Celtic and the way that Celtic help so many people around the world. That will resonate with Austin Trusty so much more because he'll know how much the Philadelphian people pulled together after so many different difficult times that they've had in that fabulous, fabulous city in the United States. It's a momentous day for him as a player to be joining Glasgow Celtic, and it's a momentous day for the Americans to have two players of such esteem playing for Celtic and in and around the first team of the United States of America football team. That's a brilliant, brilliant achievement by the player. It's a player that's come from a nation where football isn't the first choice. It's a player that's come from an underdog nation, as you could say, and it's worked his way hard. The same as Cameron Carter-Vickers. Cameron Carter-Vickers wasn't wanted. He was put out on loan by Tottenham more times than he could probably really wanted to. But he found his home in Celtic. And we hope that Trusty has found his home at Celtic also. Trusty was West Philadelphia born and raised. There you go, says Bobski. US tour pre-season next year again. Well, we had one last year. So I'm not too sure about America going back. I take it there's been a current bun on board. So to the Huns fans watching, this is what it's like to be a big team, to spending tens of millions, on your football team, and not breaking the bank, and not putting you into liquidation, and not putting you into deep, deep, deep financial constraints that you brought upon yourself. For every £5 that your once one-legged friend said he would spend more than Celtic, yes, for every fiver that Celtic would spend, Pegleg Murray would spend 5 more. He would spend £10. And today, all his companies have pretty much gone into liquidation. And Rangers are a dark ghost of the past, a dark relic of Scottish football. Yes, a bit like Third Lanark. They say they are the people. They say that it's the same club and the big house must stay open. But here they are, coming onto Celtic channels and seeing what it's really like to be successful, to see what it's really like to support a club that can walk into the Champions League and amass £50 million in money in one season and sell players continually and regularly for over 20 million. To sell Mikey Johnston more from what they sold that absolute legend of a player. And Greg Taylor even said to him, "Shut it, fat boy. Shut it, fat boy." Morelos was going to be the player that took over the league, along with Todd Cantwell. Todd Cantwell, who was the 40 million player, who was the 5 million player, who was ultimately sold for about 550,000. It must be difficult times for those Sevconians. Welcome to the channel. It's all about Celtic. It's all about the transfer window. One in, and two to go. First one is in the door this evening. Celtic have brought in the one and only Austin Trusty. Absolutely fantastic piece of business on a 5-year deal. It's just brilliant. It is just brilliant. It is good to get that deal done and dusted and in the door. And since it is the game this weekend, what we're going to do now for the next couple of minutes is we're going to listen to the Brendan Rodgers interview. We are going to listen to the Brendan Rodgers interview from the weekend. What he was talking about today when it comes to the window. If I could just find it. Not that one. This one. I just see this and make just sure the volume, because it's not worse than I turn it up and the volume isn't there. So let me just then do this, and we should have Brendan Rodgers.
We're in a really good place in terms of that, and we hope by the close of the market this evening we'll have a number signed, sealed, and making our squad stronger. So I think that's always the goal that we entered into this window. I've said that we want to make the team and squad stronger, and hopefully we can close the market, and that is the case.
If you do bring in Engels and Trusty, would you say that your squad is stronger from where it was at the end of last season?
Well, I don't want to put any names until it's signed, but certainly that's the aim. I think we don't want to just regenerate the squad. We want to improve the squad, and hopefully we can. Yeah, and I believe that is the case. Come the end, that will be the case. So, as I've said before, there's been a lot of hard work going on behind the scenes, and of course things sometimes don't happen until later on, either through availability or a club not wanting to sell a player. But there's been a lot of movement in the last 4 or 5 days, and thankfully, and for me, as I said, the club have been great in terms of trying to push these deals through.
Obviously, you say you don't want to give us name specifics until it's over the line, but these calibres of player that you're looking at, is that the level of quality that you've been looking for all summer? Is that why it's taken so long just to get these top level players in?
Yeah, but I think quality always takes a little bit of time. But yeah, I think we wanted to improve. I think that was the key. As I said, I don't want to take away, the guys that have been here have been brilliant for me in this opening season. But we want to continue to progress, and that's absolutely key for us. So, and I think the players that we've identified, I think the players that we brought in till this point were what will really supplement the squad and have been great for us. And we can add a number before the end of the evening, then we'll be in a really good place.
Just finally for me then, if it is just a defender and a midfielder, would you be happy with that? Because I remember before Matt left the club, you said you wanted maybe one in before. Would you just be happy with?
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to give you a number. I know you're trying desperately to get out of me here. 8 hours left, so I'm not going to give you a number. As I said, I repeat, I think by the end of this evening, I think we'll be in a really good place.
Brendan, if you get the players in, but on top of Alex, would any of them potentially be involved for the weekend?
Yeah, could be. I think a number of the players that we've been looking at have been playing, they're up to speed. So yeah, but we do an MOT on a player when he comes in just to see where they're at anyway. But most of the players that we're looking at will be in a good place.
What are you expecting from Rangers this weekend? Different squad from last season?
Yeah, I think I always expect the challenge. I think that people can sometimes assume that when you're doing well and everything's going great, that you'll just turn up and win. And that's a very dangerous way to think, and that's why at Celtic we never ever do that. We're in a really good place as a team from a football perspective. The level that we're playing at, with and without the ball, is really pleasing. But we come into these games, and these are different games. These are emotional games. But what we've always and how we've always tried to handle these is to focus on our performance. And so the players will be prepared really well all this week, and I think Rangers will come in and like I said, it'll be a tough game.
What did you make of the Champions League draw, and what will it do for the team's chances if you get the quality in that you expect to?
I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I think we were all anticipating what's it going to look like, because we all loved the draw and everything else before. But I thought it was really well done. And of course, then the teams that we've got, absolutely fantastic. You know, we're playing against a Champions League finalist. We're playing a Europa League winner amongst the other teams. So it's so exciting, as from a manager's perspective, from the players, we get the chance to play against the best in Europe, and then we also get some really exciting cities for the supporters to go to. But of course, we're here for the football, and we also want to make a mark in that. So yeah, I thought it was a great draw. different teams, different thoughts around it all, but really exciting for us.
You have a fighting chance, I think, with those groups, with those teams.
But that's the plan. We're not there, as I said before, we don't want to just participate in the competition. We want to be competitive in it, and that's our chance. But we have to remember it's the elite level of club football, and some people will look at some teams and think that's easy, and that's not the way football works. But for me, it's a brilliant draw. I'm really excited by it, and when it comes, as are all the players and staff.
Can I just ask a team news question? Cameron Carter-Vickers wasn't spotted at training. Was there an issue with Cameron?
No, just give him a wee recovery. You know, sometimes we do that in our sessions where if the players are overloaded and we measure and monitor that, we can just we can take one or two out, give them a sort of recovery day, having worked hard all week. So he's fine.
Just going back to the transfers, by all accounts Celtic might be about to break their transfer record and incoming fee. Is that you encouraged by the level of ambition that the club is showing this week? You
just turned up. Just turned up. Listen, we'll see. We'll see by the end of the. I said to you, we'll see when the market closes.
We'll see when the market closes. There's the one and only Brendan Rodgers talking to the media today as a little break. It was actually good that we can do that. That was good hearing Brendan Rodgers talking to the media today. We've all watched the interview before now, and I think that he's a lot more calmer. I think he obviously knows what was going on in the background. The Celtic signed defender Austin Trusty from Sheffield United just flashing up on the screens. Oh, Las Palmas have just signed Fabio Silva on loan. We'll all remember Fabio Silva. Wow, Las Palmas signing it. I thought they would have went for somebody better than him. Wow, that's an interesting one. I'll tell you one thing, Las Palmas have been signing some players in the Scottish League. Although they're not on the Scottish mainland, are they? No, they aren't on the that's fucking Scottish mainland. Spanish mainland. They aren't on the Spanish mainland. Let me just see the comments and see what we're saying. Where's Engels? He's not been announced as yet. Celtic have obviously released the fact that we have signed Austin Trusty. And Fabio Silva, who came into Celtic came into Scottish football thinking he was going to dominate Celtic. And that didn't work out, did it? No disrespect, but being a Celtic fan in Spain is easier. Spain's a bit easier. Do you think so? Las Palmas is an island. I think of the diving they could do. Yes, he can. But anyway, who cares? Feeling good now, Celtic. Let's go, says Kieran. Willie says also, Willie Larson's just in from work. What's happening, Baz? Well, we have signed one player so far. We've signed the one and only Austin Trusty. That has been the official announcement, the first official announcement of the evening. The big news, obviously, is that we've hit 18,513 subscribers before the transfer window closed shut. It is 34 minutes past 8 Celtic part-time. The transfer window shuts at 11 o'clock Celtic part-time. Celtic have only got just over 2.5 hours to get another couple of players in. We know one player that is coming in, Arne Eagles. Why is he not being announced first before Trusty? And will Celtic also be in the late show? There's 2 hours, 25 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the transfer window. It's going to be a hard one for the next couple of hours. We are staying on as long as we can. Well, we're going to stay on until the transfer window closes, and until the Celtic transfer business has been concluded. There has been 3,898 people on the live so far. There's currently 776 people on this live, which is absolutely fantastic numbers for the channel. Trusty seems to be very happy at Celtic, says Jason Lee. He does that. Lindsay Greenwood says, time to take Hoopy for a walk. Good night and God's bless. Come on, the hoops, says Lindsay. Good night to you. Todd couldn't handle the Scottish patter and banter. No, I couldn't that. And they gave us James McGrory and a Paul McStay. I've not sing. I'm not allowed to sing on the channel anymore. I've been banned. The Currents get 500k per win. We get 2 million per win. I'm not expecting them to get much money more than 500,000 then. Stephen, weather-wise, yeah, of course. Fucking weather's in space. Although this summer has been pretty crap. It's more cloud than we've ever had in August ever. It's been a lot of cloudy days on the mainland of Spain. Anyway, but yeah, it'll be a lot easier for me to play in Spain than it is in Scotland, to be fair. Lads, has there been any name? Fred Inglesby, lads, is there any name? No idea what you're talking about there. He's just deleted it. Trusty will love it here. Yeah, I think Trusty will. No chance Scales will play. Talking about this weekend, the Rangers had to pay Blackburn £500 to get TikTok to. Jeez. Is Tory Andrew Flo still not a record at 12 million? The fact that Celtic are bringing in they're bringing in Arnie Eagles at the initial payment of 11 million, but the total payment of 13 million will make Arnie Eagles the most expensive player of all time in Scottish football. And anyway, how did it work out for Tory Andrew Flo? Who would you have rather had, Tory Andrew Flo or Chris Sutton? There we go. There we go. Scales deserve to play this weekend. Do a poll, Baz. Do a poll. We've not done a poll this evening. Let's do one just for fun. Right, the flow. The flow. Oh my God! Thank God I'm not started drinking yet. Who would you rather who would you have rather had in the team? Tory Andrew Flo or Chris Sutton? This one's just for fun. Tory Andrew Flo was a player that was brought in as the most expensive player of all time into Scottish football, and Chris Sutton was brought in as a Chelsea reject. He was brought in as a Chelsea reject, and he was brought in as a player that couldn't cut it at Chelsea, couldn't cut it at English football, became a fantastic servant for Celtic and a massive, massive Celtic fan. Chris Sutton, who not only today spoke about the where is he? Sutton. Chris Sutton, who today not only spoke to his 320,000 subscribers on Twitter and said, I bet Callum McGregor is breathing a sigh of relief this evening. Good luck to Todd. He needs to start doing his talking on the pitch. He's gone to a great club, and he has gone to Blackburn. Isn't it? No, Blackburn Rovers, yes. And the reason that Chris Sutton, and here's why Chris Sutton says he's gone to a great club, because you have to remember that Chris Sutton once played for Blackburn. Who did Chris Sutton play with at Blackburn? Should do that as a poll. Tell me in the comments, who did Chris Sutton play with at Blackburn with his striker? Who was his striking partner at Blackburn? Tell me in the comments. Who was Chris Sutton's striking partner at Blackburn Rovers? Tell me that. Chris Sutton was a Houndskilpa. Yes. Yep, it was the Shearer and Sutton front line. We went for Shearer, but he's a wanker. Don't you take our Larson away. Yep, you've all got it right. It was Shearer. It means that you're of an older generation and you can all remember that. Silly question, Baz. Flo's club no longer exists. Yeah, it was just one. It was just one for a laugh, just to get us. We'll get into. 2% said Tory Andrew Flo. There must be Huns on this. 2% says Tory Andrew Flo. Weed out the 2%. Jesus. Oh my goodness. That's absolutely fantastic. Right, I'm going to end the poll. We need 8 votes and I'll end the poll when it has the 2. I just end the poll just now. So it's a lot easier. Yeah, Shearer. Shearer, a player that Celtic wanted at one time, but he decided not to come to Celtic and he wanted to go to Newcastle. Yeah, back in the day, and done absolutely nothing with Newcastle. Apart from Shearer, from Keegan having a meltdown. Absolutely love it. And can you imagine if Keegan was the Rangers manager? I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it if we beat them just the once. Just the once. Can we not just beat them just the once and wins? Just so we got a draw. That's it. Yeah, we got a draw. Fucking a Jesus. Is that a real Adidas top? Yeah, it's a real Adidas top. It's a Celtic Adidas top. It's a Celtic Adidas top. I voted Joe. I voted Flo for a joke. Ginola. It was the Ginola. What happened with the Angles deal? Is it? It's happening. Arnie Angles will be Tory Andre Flop. Arnie, fucking sees are getting me on. It's not been announced from Celtic as yet. Celtic will want to make sure they milk as much of the transfer window as possible. They'll make sure that they drip feed information to the media so that they dominate the press. It's all about, in Scotland, we all know the fact that in the media, the Sevconians over in Govan try to decide and try to manipulate the media as much as possible. And that's from a gone by day of when the old club, the one that died and buried, was owned by Pegleg and David Murray, and they tried to manipulate the media as much as possible. So whenever Celtic put out a story, they would put out a good news story the next day. And I think the biggest one that would give us the most laughs was the fact that they were going to build a £750 million stadium, a £750 million complex with a casino and hotel and everything. Yeah, that didn't work out for them, did it? But anyway, back to the transfers. Let's get a question in. Still checking your nicked it from Malaga Market. Why would I go down to Malaga? That's about a 5-hour drive. It's about a 5-hour drive down to Malaga Market. And just for all the doubters and all the ones that are saying, don't be spending your money on Celtic merchandise. I'll be spending a lot of Celtic money on Celtic merchandise next weekend. I can tell you that. Fees up, Baz. Long John Silver Murray. I can't see Kuhn playing a blinder. Do you think Kuhn will get right? We need to start talking about the team. There is obviously a couple of hours to go. Celtic signed Trusty from Sheffield United. Is the breaking news on Sky. Nottingham Forest rejected offer from Newcastle. Who have we got in so far? Who have we got in so far? Trusty, that is it. Celtic haven't announced the Arne Eagle ones just yet. I think they might leave that to last. Let's see if we can get an update on the McGowan story. Let's just sure that all the levels are down so we're not getting any feedback. Let me just go into this. Let me just see if on to Blackburn Rovers have signed Todd Cantwell in a deal worth around 500,000. Todd has been sold. Confirmed Liverpool. Wait, there's one. There's one. Remember last season? Now we've just brought in Trusty from down south. Remember last year, today, well, the transfer, we brought in Nat Phillips. Well, Nat Phillips has just joined Derby County on a season-long loan from Liverpool. Jesus, do you think they would just sell him, wouldn't they? You think they would just sell him, Nat Phillips? Nat Phillips who came into Celtic and Scott McTominay has officially left Manchester United. Wow. and an amount of money that remember that Scott McTominay was linked with Celtic last summer, and coming into this summer, a lot of Celtic fans were saying go for McTominay. I think that he's as a player that is way overvalued. I think way overvalued, way overvalued. There's nothing new coming out. Obviously, news that broke around about an hour ago that Hibernian captain, the Dundee captain, sorry, Luke McCowan. Luke McCowan has. They have rejected a bid for 800,000. Now, the fact that Celtic are sniffing about the player could it be the fact that Celtic are about to make Luke McGowan known as a Celtic player before they leave the big one, right until the end of the window? Well, I think that they're going to leave the Sky News. Arnie Eagles has completed his medical and will finalise an 11 million move to Glasgow tonight. That was done. He's in Glasgow, so you can. If Celtic are going to do this in any kind of ways or means to maximise the news coverage as much as possible, Celtic will get the deal done for McGowan in the door. They know that he's only half an hour up the road in Dundee, 40 minutes up the road in Dundee. They can get him driven down. They can get everything done and dusted. Will he have to sit a medical? Maybe that's already happened. You don't know. You don't know. Maybe he's sitting his medical at the moment in Dundee, because you've got to remember, Dundee's got an absolutely fantastic university that deals with a lot of medical stuff. Absolutely fantastic for medical stuff in Dundee Uni. And maybe they'll be doing the medical in Dundee from then just drive through to Glasgow and be announced a Celtic player just before the transfer window shuts at 11 o'clock. And then Celtic, Kaiser saying McGowan and Stuart Armstrong for midfield cover. Would Stuart Armstrong come back to Celtic? Has he not got a club yet? But anyway, I think if Celtic are going to do it the right way, they're going to get the most expensive player in at the last minute and make him the last signing, so that he is the headline maker. He is the headlines. They want to make sure that they maximise the headlines for spending 11 million. Now, if we'd sat at the beginning of the window and said, just spend 11 million on the player, well, we're talking about bringing in the Liverpool goalkeeper at the beginning of the transfer window. We spoke about spending 15 million on him. He's on a free, but has no club yet. So if he's on a free, we should still be able to sign him right up. I think Armstrong is great, but not for us anymore, says Soundex. Eagles will be announced after McGowan for sure. Yeah, I think that's the way that it's going to go. If we're going to bring in McGowan for Dundee, you're not going to announce him after you announce an 11 million player, because that's a bit of a letdown. Well, it's not a bit of a letdown. That's no disrespect to young Luke. But when you spend that kind of money, there's Pep Guardiola. Wait a minute to listen to what he's saying.
Okay, look at hardly go to Manchester City and not mention the return of Oasis. 50 years, the Gallagher brothers went their separate ways at
Oasis tickets. What? For Oasis? I'm not going to phone for fucking Oasis tickets. I'll phone up one of the Gallagher brothers and say, "How you? Give a ticket." Anything on Sanchez? There's nothing on Sanchez at the moment. There was a lot of speculation yesterday about Alvin Sanchez, but it looks like that one is dead in the water. Just see if there's anything kicking about. Nah. Celtic didn't go over the price that they were wanting. Wait a minute. Although an hour ago, there has been talk No, it's not Sanchez. Is it Sanchez? Or is it Alvin Trusty? Trusty, possibly. Hmm. I'm just having. Lanky's having a drink. Uh, so Lanky's just sent me a message, and he is out tonight, and he's having a little drink, considering it's his birthday tomorrow. So yeah, there's a message for Lanky. He is out in the town tonight, and he is having a little drink because it is his birthday tomorrow. Arsenal in talks with Raheem. Yeah, I've seen that. Luke announced in the next half hour. Yeah, well, let's hope it is. That was a super journey. Just in, who we bought? Who we bought? Trusty. We've bought Trusty. The only player that Celtic have announced so far on the website officially is Austin Trusty on a 5-year deal to Celtic. If you notice as well, Celtic are still going down the road of doing 5-year deals. And at 26-year-old, it takes him right into his 30s. So with him and Cameron Carter Vickers, they do look like they're trying to get a solid back line at Celtic. And you know that most top managers like to have a solid back two. If you build on the foundations of a solid back two, a solid back four, Alistair Johnson, bringing in, if we can get some kind of deal for the left back, Alex Valley, even though we don't have an option to buy. People are saying, look, if we can get him for 3 million, I don't think that you will. But it'll be interesting to see what happens throughout the season. Whether Big Trusty comes in, I don't think he'll walk straight into the team. But that'll be interesting anyway, nevertheless. So that's the big news coming out of Celtic. The big news coming out of Glasgow for Lanky. He's out for a wee drink tonight, since it's been such a good week. It's been such a good week. So I've wished him all the best and have a good one. Let's see what media confirmed. Comes in to replace Arnie Eccles. Still not a lot of speculation going about for Celtic. Still waiting on a glimpse about the McGowan deal. Obviously, Mikey Johnston left Celtic today. Celtic put a montage with some cracking strikes for Mikey Johnston over the years. And I mean, as much as Mikey Johnston get a hard stick from a lot of fans, he had a little bit of the raw talent there. He could just never ever transfer it into playing at Celtic full time. And he felt, the word that I got was, Mikey Johnson felt that the stick that he gets from the fans, and he sees what gets said on social media. You know, his mates tell him, his bird tells him what people are saying, and when you've got that negativity around your life, you don't really need it. So Mikey Johnson, although he wasn't going to be first team choice, decided that his future lay elsewhere. And today he got his wish. Mikey Johnson has left Celtic to join West Bromwich Albion, who he was on loan with towards the end of last season. They'll be over the moon. West Brom will be absolutely over the moon. It was a player that they enjoyed having last year at the club, and they'll be over the moon that they're getting him for 3 million. Because let's face it, at the end of the last season, they thought they were going to have to pay around about 6 million for Mikey Johnston, and every Celtic fan went, "Whoa, wait a minute, £6 million for Mikey Johnston." And if they're going to give us £6 million for Mikey Johnson, just take it all day long. It's unbelievable. But we didn't. We didn't. We got 3 million for him. They'll be over the moon with that because they got a player that that done good for them. He was did he not win Player of the Season or something done there? And even though he was only half a season. But anyway, is there any selling when it comes to Trusty? Celtic haven't released that information as yet. I want to get GP said if you're like soon. Stephen John says, I went to the GP. I said, I feel like a supermarket. The GP says, how long have you been feeling like this? Since I was little. It's going to be a long night. 9 o'clock, 2 hours to go. Come on, Celtic. Mikey Johnson never got a stick from me, says Paul Baird. Thanks for the great content, Baz. God bless, says Mark Scott. Thank you. Hats off to Mark Scott. It is the easiest way to get noticed on the chat. I do try and read as much of the comments as possible, but because there is so many come in, if you want to get noticed, make a little donation to the channel, and then it pops up on the screen, and you get a little love heart as well. Oh, you get a little love heart. Wait, there should be another one actually. There we go. Oh, Simon Ireland gifted a membership. How did I not see that one? James Beattie, he tried to say F off on YouTube, wouldn't let him write in. He reckons that YouTube's run by current buns. And then Simon Ireland gifted a membership. It's not letting me see who you gifted the membership to. You gifted 5 memberships? Can't be right, surely. Right, how do I get this back off? Top chart. How do you get top chart? Who really cares? 3 Stone Roses were Man City fans. Music isn't all football. Yep. Is Jota on loan? No, Jota was sold for 6.5 million. 6.5 million. Live chat. There we go. There's hours and hours of live chat. I can't even go back so I can't even see what's all been happening. Anyway, there has been 4,980 people on the live so far. It's currently 783. Barbie's officially a Blackburn player. Yes, he is. I think Virgil van Dijk will have something to say about that. Do you have Celtic pyjamas? No. Oh God, I'm going to stop reading the chat. They're all getting bored. It's going to be a long night. How long have we been on? I don't even know how long we've been on. It's been that long. We've been on for 1 hour, 32 minutes so far. We are staying on until we get official announcement that is Celtic's transfer window done and dusted for the evening. We have got a little while to go yet. It is coming up for 9 o'clock, so we shall make it 2. It's currently 2 hours and 2 minutes of the transfer window left. Celtic have still announced Trusty. No, they've announced Trusty. They've still announced Arnie Engels, and I think they'll leave that to last. Until then, I think that we're going to try and get in Luke McCowan from Dundee. Kaiser Selko think transfer window is flavoured. It is that. Get the bottle open, Baz. 2 seconds. Hand of God. Can I have a beer? Got to ask the hand of God. Should have got some crisps. It's going to be a long night. That one's roasting hot. Anyway, the hand of God is on its way. Yes. Our very own nod to Maradona. Yes, Maradona, who was the original hand of God, as we sit on 18,518 subscribers. The the one Celtic fans' view, very own hand of God has entered the building, and it gives us some nice green Spanish beer. All right, we get goodies as well. We got a nice cake with custard in it. Thank you. There we go. High five as well. Hand of God has now left the building. And yes, we call it the Hand of God because it's a little nod to Maradona and everything that was good about Maradona. So here's a drink to Maradona, the legend that he was, the absolute legend that he was, and a cake. Fantastic. Only one to watch, Baz. Yep. The red one is better, says Stuart. A lot of people say that, but I don't know. I like the green one. I like the red one, but Hand of God is very gorgeous. Says yeah. Orange nail. It's not orange nails. It's actually gold nail varnish. I said that when I first seen it, and then she showed me the colour chart, and it's a gold colour nail varnish. Anyway, it is, and she didn't see the rest of them because she actually has green, white, and gold nails. There you go. She's got green, white, and gold nails for the game this weekend. Can't make it up. She's actually daft. Anyway, Baz, do you know anyone in Orlando? Do I know anyone in Orlando? No, I don't. I don't. Missed Todd already. Sevco conspiracies. Bill Gates is running the transfer window. Pity the missus hasn't a clue what you're saying. Why would she not have a clue what I'm saying? Of course she has a clue what I'm saying. She hears me every day. She tells me, shut up. Sevco blew their whole bank account on signing a player for $4 million. Who cares? I don't care. Celts for life. I don't care. I'm going to just say I don't care. Sorry, I don't care. It's all about Celtic tonight. So yeah. Baz, tell the hand of God to give us a wave. She's away back watching telly. Way back watching telly. Anyway, let's get back into well spotted, Danny boy. Duh. I'm in Jacksonville, but heading to Orlando for the game. But I'm from Courtbridge. If you go onto Celtic Bars, or if you're on Twitter, ask at Celtic Bars on Twitter. They've written many books. They've written a book about every Celtic supporters club around the world, and they're based just up in Alicante. The guy that runs the guy that wrote the book is just based up 25 minutes up the road in Alicante from me. But ask him on Twitter. I'm not fussy about the Huns. No worries about the Huns at all. What was I saying? Yeah, ask Celtic Bars on Twitter. Give me 2 seconds and I'll get the link for you. If you're on Twitter, they're also on Facebook. So if you ask these guys, they'll be able to tell you. 2 seconds. You may not be on Twitter, but if you are, let me just go this. These are the guys to ask because they'll tell you if there is a supporters club in the news in the area. Sorry, any news on Engels and Sanchez? Sanchez one won't be happening. I don't think that the Sanchez one will happen. I can't see it. I think we've only got 2 more. I think we've only got 2 more to come in tonight, and that will be the one and only Arne Engels, and maybe if we get him in before, will be Lorna. I'm back. Can I get ready for long? Lorna's back. Where have you been? Just reading that. Lucky we Leprechaun Irish pub. There you go. Let me just do a check for this. Confirmed. Wrens have signed Jota. That's disappointing, isn't it? I mean, would Celtic have went back in for Jota if they could have? Because let's face it, he's not going to be on 200 grand a week. They only paid 6.7 million for him. I mean, that's what we bought him for. Surely they should have had a clause in his contract, a buyback clause in his contract to buy him back for 6.5 million. But he looks all happy that he's at Rennes. Nice part of the world. Remember when Celtic played Rennes in 2019? I think it was it the September 2019 that we played away to Rennes, or was it November? I can't remember. I've got photos of it on my Facebook and everything, and on my phone, but I'm using my phone. So yeah, you remember. Jota signed for Wrexham. Just signed Jota. Wrexham didn't sign Jota. He signed for Rennes. When does Jim Farry's office close? Stuart says he's not one for going back. Where are you going back to? Jota couldn't come back to the UK within 2 years leaving Martha's tax bill. A lot of people have seen that, but I don't know. Taxes if he comes back to the UK. Celtic would pay his tax. I don't get that because Celtic would pay his tax on, and he's Portuguese. He's not a British citizen. So I don't know where you're getting that from. That the tax man would come looking for him because one, he's not a UK citizen. So the tax laws wouldn't apply for that. But anyway, a lot of people are saying that he would have had to pay tax because he'd been out of the country for only a year. Anyway, let me see if we can get some more of the Brendan Rodgers interview whilst I eat this. That's all of that. Let's get the Brendan Rodgers interview back on. Where is it? I'll just put this back up. And then find the Brendan Rodgers interview. And we'll leave where we left off earlier.
Brendan, Matt O'Reilly left, taking with him a lot of goals and assists. You've sort of brought in Bernardo, and you might bring in somebody else, but you're not going to tell us. But obviously, midfielders are more than goals and assists, and I was just wondering if you could speak on, as a manager, what challenges you face when you bring a new player in an already pretty well functioning team. I'm sort of thinking about the relationships that already exist on the pitch, the natural rhythms and sort of connective tissue about the pitch that can sometimes get disrupted a wee bit.
Aye, it's a brilliant question because you need to. That's why your recruitment is so important. Bringing in players that fit the rhythm of the team, the connectivity within the team, and suit the style. Because it's not just about players; it's about the right players. So that is so important, and that's why it does take some time. Because I've said it before, there's lots of good players, but other players that fit into the system, that fit into the way we work, into the structure, and ones that we feel that can elevate the team. So as you say, and if you see the early part of the season, the team's functioning so well, but we can never take that for granted. We always have to provide competition for the players that are here. We obviously have to have the depth to our squad because we go deep in a lot of competitions. High intensity games, those levels in the Champions League, they take so much out of you from a physical capacity. So, but I think it's also what helps when you have 5 subs now in the modern game, where you can make those changes. If you can bring players in and out of similar quality, it keeps the rhythm, keeps the intensity in the game. So bringing in players there, we obviously have to. That's obviously key within the recruitment side.
You mentioned the competition for places. That was my second question. You brought in a left back in this window. Now Greg Taylor's been Celtic's first choice left back for a while, and he's done really well, particularly over the last 3 seasons. He's now got competition in that position. How important for you is competition for places, and does it push the rest of the squad on if they know there's a bit of competition behind them?
Yeah, I think at a top club it's vital. And it's also has to be expected. When you're at a club of this status and this size, you need to know that there's competition.
You do that.
And I think most players do that. Greg Taylor's been brilliant for Celtic. I have to say, for a guy that came in, a couple of £1 million from Kilmarnock, what he gives the team, what he's given the team over the period of time before I arrived, and then seeing him over the time I've been here, he's been absolutely brilliant. I've got to say, how he plays the role and how we want him to play it. He's absolutely first class. So I love Greg as a player. I love him as a person. He's a really, really good guy. Very conscientious, very robust. Trains every day, plays most games. But ultimately, also you need competition, and you need maybe sometimes to be able to take a player out. You know, so to give them that rest or breather. But competition is very important, especially at the biggest clubs.
Just one final one from me. There's been a lot of talk about incomings, but is there any players that could potentially be leaving before the end of the day, or do you expect it pretty much as is?
Yeah, I think it's a revolving door, really. I think there'll hopefully be ones coming in. I think for some of the players, obviously they need to go and play. Like so Gustav has already gone out now, and there'll be a few others that need to go and play. It's just been the case, but I've said it before, but we need to obviously get the squad to a real manageable level. But also, it's young guys' careers. You know, they want to play football, and I think at a club like Celtic, if you're not playing as regularly as what you would want, you may only want to do that for a certain period of time. You want to then go and get your career going again or get playing again. So there might be a little bit of movement over the course of the rest of the day on that front as well.
Brendan, the development in the team has been clear so far this season. What aspect in particular is the one thing that pleased you the most about how we've come on from last season?
Our pressing.
I think it's good that Brendan Rodgers has said that about the players in the squad. I mean, I think we all felt that Gustav Lagerbielke, Lager Gustav, is one player that should have been playing more than he was. When you look at it, the fact that Liam Scales played so good last season is one reason that Gustav isn't in the team on an ongoing basis. And, you know, he was one player that wanted to go out and play. Mikey Johnson falls into that category. Mikey Johnson wants to play week in, week out. So obviously that you're going to go and head off. And if you've got the chance to play first team football, you're going to take that chance and absolutely grab it by the throat to go and play first team football. There is no update on any new players coming into Celtic just yet. Obviously, the last one was the fact that we brought in Austin Trusty to Celtic on a 5-year deal. And I'm just trying to get a further update. It looks like Celtic are going to be in the late show. It is 12 minutes past 9 Celtic Park time, and the window closes at 11 o'clock. Will Celtic leave it till late? There's 1 hour 47 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the transfer window, and Celtic have still to announce the big deal of the day. And maybe the fact that they are trying to do that is because they're trying to steal as much of the media limelight as they can. 51, 52. Right, let's do a poll. I haven't done a poll. People are deciding to head off for the evening because it is dragged on about. We've been on for 1 hour 47 minutes. I'm not even usually on this long for a game. What's for supper, Baz? I've just had it. It was one of these things, a sumus crema. I'll let you see it. That's what it was called. That's what I had. And it basically it was a little pastry thing with custard in it. And a tin of out. Terrible combination. But don't care because we're 18,520 subscribers, which is the big news, the big massive news of the night, obviously. A lot bigger than Celtic transfers in. But anyway, we do move on because we digress just a little bit. So we're going to do a poll just to try and get some time. Celtic women on BBC Alba the now. Celtic women still 0-0. I did say we'll talk about this come the end of the window. Right, I'm going to give you three options. And it's something that I said that would speak about come the end of the window. And do you think? Well, let's just get the question up and get started. Let me just double check. And there we go. There's a new poll. There's 666 people on. There's been over 5,839 people on the live this evening. But since we're now only 1 hour 44 minutes to the end of the transfer window, it doesn't look like there'll be too much Celtic business to come in. So with the information that we now have, the players that we've seen that have come in, and the player that we know that we have to come in, we know that we have at least one more player to come in. This is one that will be a really, really interesting one because it should split the fans right up. I should have done this one. You can't do that. You can't do a poll like this until later on in the transfer window. But do you think it's been a good or bad transfer window for Celtic? Obviously. And we're sitting at 65% are saying it's a good window, 7% it's been a bad window, and 26% are not sure as it sits just now. We know that we've got one player still to come into Celtic this evening. We do have one player to come in, Arnie Engels. So it'll be interesting to ask that question again tomorrow, because I am one that wanted business done concluded earlier in the window than what it was, but it is what it is with Celtic. We need at least two more in, says Michael Ross, and two more in after Arnie Eagles, after the £11 million player. Even though we brought in Trusty, do you still think that we need in one more player after that? We did ask the poll earlier on in the week, how many players did you think they would get in? So far, we're sitting at two confirmed. We're sitting at two confirmed with one on his way, which would make it three. A lot of people say that we would only bring in three players this week. Are they the ones that are going to be the winners when it comes out of how they think Celtic would act? I said that Celtic needed to get four in. Some people went for that. Some people said that Celtic was only going to get two in this week. As it stands just now, we're sitting at two players in. And the votes cast so far is 160 votes so far. Do you think it's been a good or bad transfer window? 66% good, 8% said bad, and not sure is 28%. That's an interesting one. I'd be in and around that also, to be honest. Revenue chat. Let me just see this. Top chat. Fun done. So a big shout out to James Beattie tonight, who did make a super chat because he was trying to say F off, but YouTube wouldn't let him. And a big shout out to Mark Scott, who said, thanks for the great content. God bless you, Baz. Thank you to both those guys. And Simon Ireland gifted 5 on Celtic fans view. I need to double check that because I've never seen it flashing up saying that we had new members, which is a bit weird. Still nothing coming up for Celtic. There was a lot of chat this afternoon that Celtic were talking to Chelsea about a player, but nothing has come of that either. Need more in. We still need more players in. Great sentiments, Baz, says Daniel. If McCown comes in, it will be literally announced after the window closes. I don't think it'll be announced after the window closes. I think that they'd have to get it. Don't think they can do they? They have to have it. They have to have the paperwork and everything signed by 11 o'clock tonight. So if they've got it done, if they've got the paperwork signed by then, Celtic will announce it then so that they can get out and grab the headlines because they want to make sure that they grab as much paper space as they can for tomorrow. And I think that going out and getting young McCown, you're going to announce him before you announce the biggest transfer ever at Celtic. Still trying to get Sanchez. Baz says Mitchell St Clair. It'll be an interesting evening. Evening, Baz and chat. There will be a surprise player tonight. I think there could be a surprise player. Free the Scottish Free. Who's the Scottish Free? And John. The Sanchez deal is dead. It says Nicola. Yeah, I kind of thought it was dead yesterday. Sterling on loan is a shock. No, it's Brendan Rodgers. That's not going to happen. I don't know why we leave things so late in the window. Don't even get me back started on the way that the window has went. And it is what it is. I came to the conclusion a couple of days ago that after my rant about the fact that I told you this would happen back in early July, and I was told to calm down then. There's plenty of time in the window, plenty of time in the window. Calm down, Baz. And here we are. Pretty much happening. Sterling loan, lol, that's ridiculous. Yeah, is that McCowan in the final year of his contract, so shouldn't be too expensive. Hibernian, let's get an update on that, because Hibernian have had an £800,000 bid for the Dundee captain knocked back. Now, the only reason that Dundee would reject a bid of 800,000 if they knew there was another bid sitting there that was ready to come in. I mean, it said that Celtic haven't made an official bid as yet, but it said that Celtic have made an approach and are considering making an official bid for the 26-year-old. If they're considering making an official bid, they will know. They would have said to Celtic, this is how much we want for him. Are you willing to pay it? There's other breaking news concerning an ex-Celtic player, Ben Doak. The Liverpool winger has completed his medical and he's moved to Middlesbrough for a season-long loan because that's the best thing for his career. That's going to be another player that's going to go into the abyss. He's never going to make it into the Liverpool first team. Ben Doak, and I'm going to come out and say it, he should never have left Celtic. But anyway, it is what it is. He's in the past. He's no longer a Celtic player. Let's get an update and see if Celtic are about to announce anything, but they're not as yet. There's 1 hour and 38 minutes to go with the transfer window. Whilst we have been on for 1 hour 56 minutes, there's still a long way to go as far as Celtic are concerned with getting a couple of players in. A lot of the fans are saying that it's been a good window, 62%. There's been over 244 votes. There's 693 people on the channel, so get voting. Get voting on the poll that you see, 255. 62% say it's been a good window, 9% say it's been a bad window, and 29% are not too sure. Not too sure, and that's more than likely because of the players that we're bringing in, that they're not too sure if they're going to be superstars of the future. And it's a lot of money to be paying for players that let's be honest, when you're spending 11 million up to a total 13 million on a young player, you expect him to hit the ground running and to be a superstar. I mean, people expect this young guy to be a complete superstar in the league, but what you're buying is a different level of raw talent and a different level of expectation. It's a bit different from bringing in the prospect players that were brought in the last couple of seasons. Celtic did a £1 million and for half of Dundee player. 1.5 million. Baz, do you think you're prepared for the window slamming shut? Yeah, I think I am now. I think I'm done and dusted with the transfer window. It's been a long slog over the last couple of months. When it fucking slam, it's tiring now. I mean, this isn't easy. This sitting here, I've sat here for 2 hours non-stop, and I don't get paid for it the way that these people on Sky get paid. Although we have done 6,240 views in the last 2 hours, which is fantastic. There's over 3,000 views an hour, and the subscriber count has went up fantastic. So, and overall, I was a bit emotional earlier when we hit the 18,500. We kind of hit the 18,000, and it started creeping up, and we're currently at 18,523, which is amazing. It is amazing for just a wee lad that grew up as his dad was a miner in Fife. All my uncles were miners, and living through the miner strikes of the 80s, living through the winter of discontent in 1978 as a young kid, and remembering how that affected the miners, and living through the generation where there was community in amongst Scotland and amongst villages all over Scotland. There was a real community spirit, and I think Thatcher, when she closed down the mines and she closed down that community, also she didn't just kill Scotland as a nation. She made sure that she owned Scotland and that the Tories could forever do what they want in Scotland, whether we like it or not. But anyway, we're not here to talk about politics. We're just talking about the fact that a young, dream high is probably what I'm getting at. Dream big and have goals, no matter what age you are in life, and no matter what you do as a job just now. Anybody that's watching this right now, if you're fed up in your job and you want to try something different, dream big. You can do it. You can do it. I'm proof you can do it. I totally changed. My life has completely changed from what it was in 2019. From when it was back in 2019 to what it is now, my life has completely changed. So yeah, that's basically all I want to say about that. Fantastic. Don't know where that came from. I remember growing up in Paisley, everyone in the street pretty much, you knew everyone in the street. Yeah, I could remember growing up and having New Year parties in the little mining village that my dad grew up in. And you just walked from one house to another. You just opened the door and walked in. You didn't chat on the door and walk in. You didn't press the bell. There was no Ringo. You weren't pressing the bell on the door, and they had to come and unlock the gate, and then down at the bottom of the garden. And it was like you just walked up the garden path and into the house. All right, how you doing? Happy New Year and that. Fucking get in there. I want a baby. Hey, fucking brother. But yeah, change days. More politics, says Sam. We're not talking about politics. Group signing announcement last minute at the window. Yep. Gets us all up for Sunday. Baz, get the hand to talk about the Celtic board. Get the hand of God to talk Celtic board into making some sign. That was me. She thought I was knocking on the table to get her attention. Oh, I feel bad. Lanky, Chilpel, Lanky's away for a drink tonight. Since his exact words to me were, wait till I get the message. His exact words to me were, I'm in Glasgow tonight, lol, having a wee drink since it's been a good week. Like I said, I would. Plus, it's his birthday tomorrow, so why not? And then back being sober 100% after tomorrow. So he has fallen off the wagon after not having a drink since May. But he's away back. He's away for a drink, and rightly so. And rightly so. He's another fantastic member. He's another fantastic member of the One Celtic fans view community, as is everyone. I wish Celtic would just hurry up and make this announcement, because I am absolutely, it's starting to get hot in here. It's starting hot. Not happening. Women tonight. Happy birthday to Lanky. Leipzig, our first Champions League game, says Paul. I don't think so. There was a thing going around Twitter this morning saying that showing you the games, and it said that the Aston Villa game was second. I did ask the question of someone that sits within spitting distance of the board at Celtic Park, and he said it was bullshit. Lanky's out in the prowl trying to raise £100 for his bet, Baz. Jesus. Michael says, Thatcher the milk snatcher. Yes, she was that. She took away the free milk from primary schools. I think someone at Celtic, I think some sort of Celtic fan, long done Demon. He's done more for Celtic, you never know. Lawwell's a master for Celtic. Stop fucking moaning. Says Thomas. Stuart Ramsey says, I'll be having a bevy shortly, Lorna. No drinking during the week. It's the weekend. It's born. Don't know if it's you're biased, but the fans over the last transfer window, Rangers. She took away the free will. Yeah, she did that. Right, I'm going to close the poll down. I need 8 votes. So if you haven't voted, vote on this poll. Do you think it's been a good or bad transfer window so ever? Even though there is still around about an hour and a half to go with the transfer window, an hour and a half to go of the transfer window. Celtic have still got one big announcement to make, with their most expensive player ever coming in the door. And there's talk of the player coming in from Dundee, and there's McTominay. Where did McTominay go to Italy or something? Madman. 302, that'll do. 302, we've got 303, 302. We'll get it 305. And we're going to end the poll in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The poll has closed. Do you think it's been a good transfer window so far? And there are the results. The results are in. 62% say yes, it's been a good transfer window. Napoli, yeah, that's where he went. It was Napoli, it was Italy, wasn't it? Not sure, it's 28%. And 9% still think it's been a bad window. I still think it's been a bad window. I'll reserve judgment till tomorrow. I think it's been an interesting window. I thought that we could have acted a lot quicker. I thought we could have acted a lot quicker in the transfer window than what we have. I think Brendan Rodgers will feel that we could have acted a lot quicker. When I played back the interview from the other evening, when Brendan Rodgers was in America, and he said, "Look, I had a good chat." And remember that. I mean, that was over a month ago now. That was a month and a half ago. He said in America, "I've spoke to Michael and Chris, and we had a good conversation about the players that we want to bring in. They know who I want to bring in, and we hopefully will get the business done and dusted before the league starts." Yeah, but here we are, the last minutes, and it's very rarely in modern time that we've been sitting the last part this late on. Paz, why do you make the Semco draw? No idea. Celtic have just signed another player. No, they haven't, because it's not on the official website. They've signed Austin Trusty, but they've not signed anyone else according to the official website. Because I'm looking at it right now. 1 day, 14 hours and 57 minutes until the Glasgow Derby on Sunday. 1 day, 14 hours and 57 minutes. Celtic have got a countdown timer on the website. They do have a countdown timer. So basically, all we've brought in this week is Alex Valley on loan from left back as the left back from Barcelona, and we've also brought in Austin Trusty. We brought him in on a 5-year deal. We are still waiting on the big announcement, the massive announcement. I'm going to try and get an update on that. Everyone's saying, "Celtic announce Arnie. I'll be back." Oh, I wonder how long we need to get Arnie to say at the end of the game, "I'll be back." Payday loan. It takes three parties to make a deal. The truth teller says yes, they have. So who have they signed? They've not signed anyone on the website. They've signed Austin Trusty. That was a couple of hours ago. We're still waiting on the official announcement that we have signed, dealed, and delivered the one and only Arnie. The one and only. Trusty, the new defence option 1 hour ago by Celtic, and you've got to say he looks nice and happy. Yeah, that was him that was pictured. It was him that was pictured earlier. Was Trusty. Austin Trusty's first interview at Celtic.
Celtic, the obvious first question I ask every new signing is, how do you feel it having signed for the Scottish champions?
Just feel ecstatic. It's such a historic and an amazing club. You know, it's a club I've known about since I was a little kid. You know, growing up in Philadelphia. You know, football is not such a popular sport, but I knew Celtic. I knew who Celtic were.
Austin Trusty's first interview at Celtic
behind it. So it's a dream come true to join.
I'll take the obvious first question I ask.
You know, organization.
It's the first time you've pulled on the jersey. How does it feel?
It feels great, and obviously seeing the badge in my own eyes, it's pretty surreal.
Is this your first transfer deadline day move?
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants it to be on the deadline, but that's how things work, and that's just the name of the game.
You join a club with supporters who demand success, and success to the Celtic fans means winning trophies, titles, and competing in the Champions League. Are you ready for that level of demand, and will it be something you can thrive on?
Yeah, absolutely. That's my mindset. I think anybody who knows me as a player and as a person off the pitch and on the pitch, they know that's what I want, and that's the environment I want to be in, and push myself every single day. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I think the organization wanted me to come here. So I think it's a great fit.
Watch the full interview on Celtic TV when you have to pay to get the rest of the interview. It's good that Celtic always do that. They always put out a little bit of info, and he sounds American. He is American. Sounds like AJ. Sounds like AJ. So we're still waiting on the big deal of the evening, Arnie Engels, to be announced by Celtic. We are still waiting on that, and we're still waiting to see if Celtic have put an official bid in to Dundee for their captain. Nothing coming out as yet. Nothing coming out as confirmed. Jesus, I had heart failure there. Confirmed Wolves have signed Dundee centre-back Sebastian Lockhead on a permanent basis. My heart just went into my mouth when I thought that Dundee had sold Luke McCowan to Wolves. Jesus, it's not. Yeah, it's not. Thank goodness. So Celtic are still in the mix as far as it's concerned to the Luke McCowan deal. He has not signed for anyone as it stands just now, with only 23 minutes, 1 hour 22 minutes to go in the transfer window. My back is killing me. I'm going to get one of those standing desks. Mark, welcome to the One Celtic Fans View membership. One Celtic Fans View CSC. Mark, we've been on the go for 2 hours and 11 minutes. Truth teller, Baza boy, what is it? Manchester United. Only update from Sky Scotland that has received. Yeah. That's not Sky Scotland that done the one that was just Anthony Joseph. He just done the one about Sheffield United. No, it's fucking confirmed. Wolves have signed Dundee centre back Sebastian Lockhead on a permanent transfer. Come on, Celtic. We need official confirmation that the window has closed as far as we are concerned as a club. Jota, €8 million. Tell you, this is just. I'm going to stand up for 5 minutes. Oh my God, man. I really need a standing desk. That's just no comfort at all. Sitting that long. Anyway, Liam says. Baz, why don't you call out the member's name and just read the comments? They're all members after all. Yeah, I could do that. Celtic mad. I would, but then you would have to put it to members. You can't just put it to members only. I can't just read the members only chat. What I can do, Stuart says, old bones Baz. Yeah, it is that. It's because you're sitting down on this desk for hours. I mean, that's 2 hours, 13 minutes I've been sitting down there. I'm not built to sit at a desk. I've stood on my feet all my working life. Oh, That's a fun way to do the stand-up desk. Oh, Jesus. Tell you. No, they've not. Masters went on, but no more pause. Stuart. Where's your yellow tie, Buzz? No idea. I don't have a yellow tie. Oh, Jesus. I didn't read half the comments. My missus will be raging. Raging. Jesus. Sat on YouTube on a Friday night. My missus raging too, but I told her during the week that this was going to happen. So anyway, it is only the one night of the year until January, the end of January, and then we do it all over again. We do it all over again. Hope to after 11 p.m. we can focus on Sunday. And talking about Sunday, the one and only Celtic manager. Breaking news. I'm just watching updates on Skies. That's nothing. Celtic haven't updated their website since the trusted deal, so he is the last player that came in this late in the window. We're still waiting on the big news, obviously, for Arnie. Get Arnie in the door. Get Arnie in the door, but that hasn't happened as yet. Of course. There's nothing at all. Nothing. There's no new information coming about, so it's going to be a long hour and a bit, hour and 15, just about an hour and 15 minutes to go of the transfer window. And Celtic have still to make that announcement. While we're waiting for Arnie, it's taking ages. What's happening now by Sarah Kane? Is that Highlands Park open now? Said Stuart. Is that the Highlands Park open now? I've no idea, mate. Kev's just booked my squad sale. That's a good one, John. That's all I'm saying on that. Kev's just booked a squad a table for the fight night Saturday. He is on the door. That's good that he's on the door. Anyway, thought you got kicked off the channel. Thought who got kicked off the channel? Yeah. Open up another bottle. I think I'm going to need to open. It's just tins of beer I'm drinking. I'm still drinking the same tin of beer I was drinking earlier. It's unbelievable that Celtic are leaving it this late. The upside, there's been 7,111. Sorry, 7,129 views on the channel tonight so far. That's an epic amount of views, I've got to say. And it will take us way over our target that we had for August. We've already broke that. I'll give you some information about the channel and what's happened with the channel this month. We have had, up until yesterday, we have had 603,844 views for the month. That will hit 650 by the end of the month, which is a good target to hit. And that takes us to kind of about the numbers that you would get in May. Watch hours is 58,603. 58,000 hours worth of content That's nuts. And there's been 635 subscribers this month. It's a little bit lower than normal, but it's climbing steadily. You want the channel just to keep on climbing steadily, and you want engaged viewers. And we are currently sitting on 18,525 subscribers. It was daylight when we started this video. It's now pitch black outside. The missus will be choking at the bit for me to shut up and go to bed and get to sleep, but we'll just carry on. There is an hour and 16 minutes still to go in the transfer window. Do these signings make us stronger? Is the massive question, right, Niall? That is the question. We'll do another poll since we're waiting on Celtic to start a poll. There we go. Do another poll since we're sitting waiting. There's 703 people on the live at the moment, so I'm wanting big numbers on this poll. I want at least 400 people to vote on this. God bless the mods on here. Yep, God bless the mods on here. Keep up the good work. I never see some of the comments that get deleted, so it just keeps the moderators are doing their job. Which I thank every one of you, everyone that is a moderator on the channel. You know that I absolutely love the fact that you do what you're doing and help the channel out as much as possible and just keep the chat going along nicely. And do these signings make us stronger? That is the massive question that was asked by one of, I don't even know who asked the question. It was Niall. He asked the question: "Is do these signings make us stronger?" 90% say yes. They have made us stronger. We definitely needed a defender in. Well, we've got the defender in. We've got Trusty in. We've got a defender in that we've all been crying out for. We've been asking for a left back for a couple of seasons now. So I wonder if I could put my feet up. If that would make it. Oh, Jesus! Can you still hear me? Oh, if we get Engels, I will do. I think that we've already got him. No, that's no comfort. Jesus God, we'll die. Oh, getting all stiff in the wrong way. Anyway, I think that we've been crying out for a left back for a number of seasons, and a left back that could make a difference. Will young Alex Valley from Barcelona, will he make a massive difference to Celtic? Let's hope that he can do it on a European level, more than what Alexandro Bernabe could have. You've got to remember we bought Alexandro Bernabe for 3.75 million. We wanted a defender in. 1 hour, 12 minutes to go in the transfer window. We wanted a defender in. We got the defender. We needed. Wait a minute. I was talking about the Sevco. Oh. Rangers are going to sign a player that they can't get tonight, but he'll be in on a later date. Now they've just shown a guy that played for Feyenoord, but they've got him in an Ajax top. That's all I need to know about Sky. Just turn that back down. I don't care about Sevco. With Barry and the gun, I don't even know what's going on now. All the best, Stephen, says Hank. All the best, Stephen. 1 hour and 12. You'll need a stretch. You'll need a stretch. You're no joking. Joseph says, why are Sky along John Silver Park? No idea. Because there will be someone at Celtic Park. Hopefully they'll go to Celtic Park next. You'd expect them to go to Celtic Park because that's where the big announcements of the day will be. And if they don't, it's absolutely tells you everything you need to know. Yep, here we go. Sky are talking about Celtic. There we go. He is inside Celtic Park. Yes. Arnie Engels is in Celtic Park. Yes. Arnie Engels is in Celtic Park. Arnie Engels is in Celtic Park. Done deal. He is in Celtic Park. Done. It is done. We can relax. The big deal of the night. Now, Sky just showed you the reporter outside Ibrox. They're now showing you a reporter inside Celtic Park. Yes, Celtic have opened their doors to the media and have let the media in. Yes, Arnie Engels is in the building. Oh, Luke McCown. Celtic are moving closer to getting Luke McCowan deal done this evening. That's the breaking news coming out of Sky. Celtic are moving closer. They are moving closer to getting the Luke McCowan deal done and dusted this evening. Arnie Engels is in the building. He's in the stadium. He's walked into Celtic Park as we're speaking live on the TV just now. Sky have said that they've seen Arnie Engels walk into Celtic Park. They drove into the stadium. You know how they drive the cars into the stadium? They come in the side bit with the big doors. Open them in. They walk them up. So they're not walking up the front door steps of Celtic Park at this time of night. In case the media have got snipers out there catching pictures of the new Celtic players coming in, they will then walk up the touchline at Celtic Park, up the tunnel for the very first time, and then sign on the dotted line in the boardroom, and then get his pictures taken as a Celtic player. Celtic have broken their own transfer record, and Arnie Engels is in the building. Done deal. And Luke McGowan is also close. Also, it's a fantastic end to the transfer window. Absolutely buzzing now. We're into the last hour and 8 minutes of the transfer window, and it is buzzing. Buzzing time. You absolute beauty. So if you haven't voted, if you have not voted on the poll that is on the comment section, we've got 222 people that have voted. Do these signings make us stronger? That's the massive question. That is a massive question. McCowan can play on the wing as well. So that's probably why Celtic are trying to get that deal done and dusted. 89% now say it has made us stronger. 11% said no. These signings do not make us stronger. They haven't made us stronger, which is interesting. Lorna says, Thomas, you need a cool timeout treatment. You can't be calling our fans names or not. Yep, Lorna, did you give them a timeout? Good if you did. Just see. Keep up the good work, Lorna. Arnie is in the house. I'll be back. Oh man, how many that perked up? It did that, Joseph. It perked me up just a little bit. It was the buzz that we needed. But we're getting to the end of the transfer window, and we're starting to flag a bit. We've been on this live now for 2 hours and 28 minutes. There has been over 7,607 people have watched this live, which is fantastic for this little small channel coming out of Scotland. 90% says the window has been, the players coming in have made us stronger. 10% said no. The fact that we know the player is in the building now, we've seen him coming in. Everything would have been done and dusted. All the paperwork would have been signed, sealed, and delivered. I think the days of coming into Celtic Park to actually sign the contract, the paper copy side, I think that's just It's just for the TVs and the cameras, really, isn't it? Sign here, lads, which is just the official. But all that would have been done ages ago. The good thing is that he is in. Engels taking a shite before he signs, so the drama goes on until 11 o'clock. It is 6 minutes to 10. Celtic part-time. Paul, Larson or McCoy kicker? Oh, Jesus. Fucking magic back says, as Baz says, Hank is absolutely it's brilliant. It's just the boost that we needed. Rangers are attempting to sign an Albanian midfield player for 3.4 million. Is Engels attacking or mid or defensive mid? He can play attacking midfield and defensive mid. He's more attacking though. He's more an attacking midfield player, which is absolutely brilliant. The deal is done and dusted. As long as Callum McGregor is in the team, these new players will improve. Yeah, I think it is. And then it's just jumped up to 91%. 91%, 283 people have voted saying that will this make us stronger? Will these signings make us stronger? That's the massive question. Have a sangria. Nobody drinks sangria out here. They don't drink sangria. They drink Tinto de Verano. Selfsco don't have 3.4 million. Yes, this is true. Ryan Fraser away to Southampton. Like, fuck, it's that we're all linked with him. No more chat about the Huns, please. Yep, no more chat about the Huns because it is all about Celtic. So I'm just waiting on Celtic to do the official announcement. Let me just see what Anthony Joseph has to say. And he's just updated it also. Update. Midfielder Arne Engels has just arrived at Celtic Park ahead of his £11 million move. He completed his medical in London earlier, but was caught up in a flight delays at Luton this afternoon. Well, that's interesting. That's why. That's interesting. He completed his medical, and he will now finalise the paperwork on this long-term contract. It was said that it was only a 4-year contract. It'll be interesting to see whether it is 4 or 5 years. I think that Celtic will go for if they wanted to keep it the same as what everyone else has been getting, they were going to get him in on the 5-year deal, so that they can sell the player in year 2 to year 3. But still maximise the revenue for the player. But the big announcement obviously was coming out of Celtic Park, as we just heard, is the fact that Celtic are still sniffing about the Dundee player. To see if they can get a deal done this evening for Luke. Now, the fact that he is a Scottish-based player, will they just sign the contract tonight? Will they need him to get a medical? Has he partaken in the medical already? He maybe took part in a medical today due to the fact that Hibernian had put some offers in for him, but you don't know. Paul has just said Arne is hoops. Yes, he is that, said Paul. For a single replacement from Brentford. Yeah, I've seen that also, Joe. Right, I'm going to close down this poll because we're sitting at around about 309 and it's unanimous. Do you think that these signings will make us stronger? That is the massive question. I wonder if we'd asked that question last season, whether we thought that the 9 players that we brought in last season would have made us stronger. I wonder how we would have thought about it then. It's an interesting one, because we weren't doing these polls then. Sitting at 312, let's see if we can get up to 350 votes. There's 808 people on the live. The live has went back up, viewer-wise. The breaking news, obviously, is that Arne Eagles is in the building. We have the official announcement from Celtic earlier, just over an hour and 20 minutes ago, that Austin Trusty joins Celtic on a 5-year deal. Celtic put out the following statement. Celtic Football Club are delighted to announce the signing of American internationalist Austin Trusty from Sheffield United on a 5-year deal. Obviously subject to international clearance, but that always happens. But anyway, a 26-year-old central defender began his career in the United States, playing for Philadelphia Union and Colorado Rapids in the Major League Soccer. Before joining Birmingham City in 2023, he moved to Sheffield United, where he made 32 appearances in the Premier League. across the season of 23-24. Trusty has represented his country at under 17s and under 20 FIFA World Cup. Last year, he was capped twice for the US national team. Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers said, "We are so pleased to sign Austin. He is a really welcome addition to our squad." I am going to just double check the Celtic website to see that Trusty has been added to the Celtic website. You click on Teams. He's not been added to it just yet. They were waiting on the pictures, but he's not been added just yet. In the defence, it'll be interesting to see who leaves the club tonight with only an hour to go. 1 hour to go in the transfer window. God, I'll sleep tonight. 1 hour to go in the transfer window. 59 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the deadline window. We're still sitting with Tomoki Awata, still sitting pictured in the squad, so he's obviously not left the building. Louis Palmer, who was subject to a bid from France, has not left the building. He is still there. Yang is still in the picture also. Also is Liam Shaw, who I got a dog's abuse today for even mentioning Liam Shaw as a Celtic first team player. Well, he's actually pictured in the first team squad. We're sitting on 332. Let's get up to try and get up to 350 votes on this deadline day for the poll. Do you think that these signings will make us stronger? That's the massive question. 91%. Well, you can see the way the poll's going. I mean, it's 91% of the fans are generally happy now with the way the window going. Take 5 minutes, badge, stretch your legs, says Kaiser. Yeah, I've done that already. I'm going to do that in just a minute because I've got a video that I can play. I do have a video I can play. We went up a league or two, Kaiser. Been here for 2 hours 35 minutes. Luke McGowan is on his way for Celtic Park. It's been suggested by Celtic for Life. Well, we all know that Celtic are trying to get the deal done for that. There's nothing online saying that he has been. But what we will do, God, you could tell it's been a while. The throat's starting to go and everything. What we'll do is I'm going to play the rest of the media conference this afternoon by the one and only Brendan Rodgers. So let me just do this under that. What browser was it? Wasn't that one? It was this one. So let me just press this, and it should give you the rest of the Brendan Rodgers interview from this afternoon.
I always say that passing the ball and pressing are like twins. When you press the game well, you pass the game well. And it was probably the first 6 months of last season where we weren't doing either so well with enough consistency. That started to pick up in the second part of the season, and then really that last 3 months of the season then tagged on to our pre-season. Now if you look at you guys probably look at and analyse the games and do everything, we've had 3 shots against us in 3 games. So that tells you how hard the team's pressing and working together. And that elevates then the football. So I always say our mantra here is respect the 30%, because that's the most important bit. The bit when you don't have the ball, how aggressive you are. And that was why it was nice last week whenever Stephen talked after the game about, he changed his team and probably want to go physical and set pieces and everything. But we done all the dirty side of the game. And the top players do that. They do the dirty side. Some people call it the easy. It's not the stuff that gets noticed a lot in the stands. But it's absolutely key from a coaching perspective and a player's perspective. So that pressing side, the aggression, the compactness of the team, that all then brings the football to another level. That's been the most pleasing part.
Do you think we'll be better equipped for the Champions League this season, not just in terms of the squad, but in terms of that tactical evolution and the improvement in the team?
Yeah, I think so. I think we tried some things in pre-season against Man City and Chelsea that worked well for us, knowing that we're against a calibre of opponent that will ask different questions of us. And so we looked at a couple of things in that game tactically, just slight little tweaks and adjustments that can work well for us. So, but that's what I love about this team. I think the constant evolution of the game, they're learning, they're improving. I think they're more accustomed to me now and what I demand and what I want. So there's a real focus and clarity around everything that we're doing, and I think then you see that on the pitch. So I'm really excited about the Champions League and what that can bring, and it's really positive.
But in terms of the Champions League draw, does that open up a good opportunity for Celtic? Because obviously you've got some real good calibre teams in there, but in terms of the home games in particular, I guess people might look at that and say, relatively speaking, the draw could have been worse. Do you see that now as a real good opportunity to progress?
Yeah, but I think we've been here before. I think this is the key thing, is not to underestimate and not to assume that because we're playing Club Brugge that there may be not good players in there, or Red Bull Leipzig. So this level of competition, there's nothing easy in it. Okay, you might not be playing the team that's won it 14 times, but it doesn't mean the other teams aren't very good. But what it does give us, it gives us that confidence. I think now in our game and our model and how we're working and how we're developing, then it gives us a real nice opportunity to go make a mark at that level, and that was always what we want to be able to do. So the home games will be equally as tough in different ways to the away games. Obviously, some of the glamour ties and some of the big ties maybe be seen to be away. But also the home games will be tough games for us, but we'll be ready. We'll have the support. The stadium will be absolutely on fire, and I cannot wait.
Brendan, can you describe what this week is like for a Celtic manager when you're preparing for an Old Firm game, you're trying to bring signings in, Champions League draw? Are you a delegator? Are you right at the front of things? How do you manage your week so that you're not, burnt out or not burnt out, but...
I understand. Listen, there's no getting away from it. It's a tiring week. I'm very, very fortunate here. I've got amazing staff. I've always said it that it's not about the manager sits here and does the press and everything else and manages everything, but I've got absolutely brilliant coaches that manage the coaching aspect of it really, really well. I've got a recruitment team. They've worked tirelessly every single day, and then I manage it all, and that's something that it's time, it's long days, but it always is.
It always is. It's always a long day when you're the manager of Glasgow Celtic Football Club. It's always a long day when you're trying to do a live. And yes, I put a screensaver thing up, but I obviously didn't. But anyway. Baz, you're on a piss break. Yes, I was. If you must know, not that you need to know. Les has said you've got to roll with it. You've got to take your time. You've got to roll with it on Sunday. The chat can be, Stephen, sometimes you leave the chat. If Engels can shoot at the edge of the box, it will do for me. I did ask the question. Now that it knows that Arnie is in the building. Arnie is in the building. And he'll leave the building tonight and he'll say, I'll be back. I'll be back on Sunday. So a nice early scalping. Sanchez won't play on Sunday because he's obviously in far too late tonight. Yes, I washed my hands. And I sat down to do it too because I was fucking too knackered to stand up. Right, we need a couple more votes to get in at the 400 vote sign. There's 776 people. I have been on the go now for 2 hours 42 minutes. And there we go, 400 in the poll. 400, and I bet it still takes 1%, even though you can't get much more of an even. What is wrong with you, YouTube? What is wrong? What is wrong with YouTube? It was 402 votes come the end. They managed to sneak in 2 votes, even though I stopped it at 400. But they made it anyway. 89% said yes, these signings make us stronger. Lawwell's hidden the pens. Yeah, I don't think that it's once it's all agreed. I think the signature of the player is just a formality. Anyway, 8,509 viewers on this video. 33 now. 8,533 on the video tonight. I thank everyone. I'm just going to check something else whilst I'm here. because it's been the channel has been absolutely on fire this month. Absolutely on fire. A bit like what my throat will be tomorrow morning. Dashboard. Just see, wow. So there's been a lot of new members tonight. George, Niall, Jason Lee, Patrick, Mark. A lot of new members. Don't even know if they know that they're members, but they're members tonight anyway. And welcome to the channel. And make sure that all the ones that have joined the channel, join out. You can tell it's been a few hours now, can't you? Make sure that you check out the one and only members only video, because it's a little sneak preview. It's something that you're not going to get on the main channel. I will do another members video tomorrow. I said I would do a members video to give you a bit of my own personal thoughts on the transfer window. Stuff that I've not really spoken about on here. And yeah. Happening, Baz. It says G Master Patrick James Simpson. I doubt it's Mad Mac unsettled learn from the biggest game. Yeah. Welcome to all the new members, says Lorna. Sky just said Engels has signed. He's in the building. He's in the building, so he would have signed his contract. He is in the building. It was spoken about just oh. I've just had a message that there could be a left wing, well, not a left winger, but there could be another signing tonight. There could be another signing. There could be a Belgian joining us tonight. The one and only Luke McGowan deal may not be the last deal of the evening. There could be another player joining Celtic tonight, and not the Dundee player. The Dundee player, as alleged, is still on his way to Celtic, but he is not one of the players that could be on his way to Celtic. We're not saying he is on his way to Celtic, but there has been speculation that there could be another player heading to Celtic tonight. The transfer window is just getting exciting. The transfer, if we come in and sign, if we sign another, we've got what? There's 48 minutes left to go. That's unbelievable. Surely cannot Celtic bring in and news trustees confirmed about 50 minutes ago when the shuts. I'm just getting WhatsApp messages here. Right, let me just double check this. God, that's the little buzz that you need, isn't it? I'm just getting a message back. I'll DM you. I'm not sure that's one though. Hmm. There is an account that is suggesting that a Belgian player may sign for Celtic tonight. This will be a deal that nobody is expecting, or is it? Is it? Let me just see this. WhatsApp's coming through. Engels and out. McGowan will be announced together. I'm not going to look too much into the Belgian link at the moment. And the Engels in the building. I've just been sent a video. Just I've just a video of fans sitting outside Celtic Park seeing Arnie Engels in the building. Seeing Arnie Engels in the building. And it's somebody with their mobile phone, and they've got the phone up. Where's the phone? And they've got the phone up against the railings, trying to get in through and see Arnie getting out his car. 846 still on the live. There's been over 8,889 on the live so far. The Belgian player flip-flop, Mikey Johnson back on loan. That's not going to be that. Been brilliant business for Celtic so far. Let me just see. Lorna Gallagher, get yourself a pint, Baz. You've earned it, mate. Cheers for that, Lorna. If I ask the hand of God nicely, my throat is killing me. Can I ask you a big favour? Can I get an beer? Just seen the record, Arsenal Rapids. The Huns will be sheeting it. Yes, they will that. The release clause if they got relegated. That's interesting. That's interesting. So I'm just trying to get some more clarification on the alleged that we're going to sign another player tonight, as well as McGowan. Dundee have accepted a bid for Luke McGowan. I'm not believing this. Hey, wait a minute. Wait till I get it. The hand of God has entered the building. You've got more than one chance at fame. That's better. Proper cold one. The one that I've had has been warm for. It's nothing worse than warm beer. That is a proper. It's so much better. Anyway, we're on 18,531. Wait a minute, some more WhatsApps coming through. I'll go back onto WhatsApp 2 seconds. And not. Right, let me try and find out a bit more about the done deal for from Dundee. As been suggested, Dundee accept a bid for Luke McCowan. I keep saying McCowan. Luke McCowan. The fee is around 1 million. Personal terms to be finalised. But I don't know who this is. I'm not sure about the account that this is coming from, but there is someone suggesting that the Luke McCowan deal is and dusted. Oh my God, this is hilarious. Todd Cantwell. I'm going to see if we can. I think Todd Cantwell wants to let his football speak. Oh my God. Goldilocks. Luke McCowan, it's deal done seemingly. He can play in a varied amount of positions, can't he? He's very versatile. He could play in the left wing, he could play in the right wing, he could play in centre mid, he could play attacking mid, he could play played at winger, he scored goals. Central midfield, he scored goals. Left winger, he scored goals. Left midfield, he scored goals. Right midfield, he scored goals. Attacking midfield, he scored goals. And even as a striker, as a centre forward, he's been played as a centre forward before, and he has scored goals. But there is a lot of people saying online that the deal is done. It's 1 million. It's done. It's done. It's accepted. Have accepted a bid for Celtic for Luke McCowan and a fee of around 1.1 million plus add-ons. It's a done deal. Third one of the evening. Luke McCowan is a Celtic player. It's a done deal. It is a done deal. That is fantastic news. It's the news that we've all been waiting for all evening. It's not official by Celtic yet, but I understand that deal has been done. Celtic have gotten the player from Dundee. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Big shout out to Chilpil. Great broadcast tonight. Absolutely. I'm buzzing now. Has it been a good window now? McCowan is in the door. Can we get another player in before the end of the window? Let's see if Celtic come out and say that that's the transfer business done for the night. Absolutely buzzing to get these 4 signings in. Brendan Rodgers had said that he wanted a certain amount of players in the door. He was asked this afternoon if bringing in a player from Scotland would help with the coefficient of making up the Scottish players, and would bringing in a player from Dundee be beneficial? And he laughed. Brendan Rodgers did laugh and say, now I know what you're getting at. Now I know what you're getting at. It's a done deal. It has Raman Bajwa is even talking about it now. Where is it? I've just lost it. Ramon the Hoon. Yep. Raman's even reporting it as well now, so it's a done deal. It is a done deal. Dundee have accepted the bid for Celtic for Luke McCowan. Understand the fee is 1.1 million plus add-ons. 1 million plus add-ons. It's absolutely fantastic. Deal done. Just what you think you got for TikTok. Brilliant signing for Celtic. Get up, you. Absolutely brilliant news. Fantastic news. Buzzing. We've got 4 players in. We did talk about, it's not time to talk about that. It's not time to talk about what happened before in the transfer window. I think it's been a fantastic, absolutely amazing night so far. We have got the players in that we wanted so far. There is still talk out there until Celtic come out and say that is us done and dusted for this evening. Until they come out and say, there's still speculation out there that we're about to bring in another player this evening from Belgium. There is speculation out there that we're bringing in another player from Belgium, but that is it so far. We have brought in Alex earlier on in the week. We have brought in Trusty today. Arnie Engels was filmed in the building. I was sent a video via it is on Twitter. I'm going to repost it on Twitter. So if you follow me on Twitter, it's about to get reposted just now. A guy sneaking, looking at. There's a lot of cars inside Celtic Park. There's a lot of cars inside Celtic Park. That's a taxi, isn't it? Arnie Engels in the door. Well, we know that he was in the door because it was recorded. There he is, just shaking hands with Celtic media. And there's the Sky guy in the background. That was when Sky reported it. You can actually see the Sky reporter in the background. So remember, we did report it that Sky had announced it. But it's fantastic news. He has just Arnie Engels is done and dusted. Luke McGowan is also McCowan. Sorry, Luke McCowan is also done and dusted. Been a brilliant night so far as Celtic is concerned, getting the players in they wanted, making Celtic a stronger squad. We do need, if we can get in one more player, it would be absolutely fantastic. We're sitting at over 1,010 people on the live in the current moment as we rock down to the end of the transfer window. We have been on for 3 hours so far, 2 hours and 59 minutes that we've been on so far. The fact that we're getting these players in is absolutely brilliant. Where are you watching this, Baz? I'm getting it from various sources, mate. I've just done a link to the one on Twitter. Just retweeted the one on Twitter with the guy coming in, Arnie Engels coming in. But remember, it was Sky Sports earlier did announce that they just watched him coming out of a car. So, and Scottish media are now talking about the fact that it is done and dusted. Shushburger, please. Get Shushburger. The transfer window has been a good one, in my opinion. Good couple of signings. Adam Ida, Paulo Bernardo back. We also got rid of the Deadwood out the door. Give credit where credit is due. I think we have there's Trusty 2 minutes ago. Austin Trusty on his very own Twitter has just put pictures of himself up at Celtic Park. I've just retweeted that one also. Austin Trusty with his Celtic shirt. Can't wait to get started. See you all Sunday. Let's go, boys. Come on, the big man. Will the big man walk straight into the team? Will Austin Trusty walk straight into the team this weekend? God almighty, it's a fantastic end. We've never had a transfer window this exciting for years. Usually when it comes to the end, usually when it comes to the end of the transfer window, we are sitting and we've done our business by now. And we're sitting wondering if Celtic are going to bring in any more players. The fact that we have brought in players tonight, we have spent some serious money. The club have moved forward massively. We haven't just brought in players of a sort of 1 or 2 million where we think they're project players, where we know that they're project players. We've brought in players that, from a financial perspective, they must be further forward than what the players that we've had at the club. Brendan Rodgers must be fully convinced that these are the players that he wants, that he thinks that he can know and trust to become better at Celtic. They must be players that Brendan says that we can improve you slightly even more as a player, and by improving you as a player, you might get that next big chance to move to an even bigger club for more money. Well, you're not going to move to a bigger club, but you're going to move to a club after us that you're going to increase your finances. Joseph says, good bit of business at last. Yeah, is that? What's Kaiser saying to it? What he's laughing at? Jim White is a knob. Celtic Mad, Lowell will be coming out in sweats after spending all this money, says Celtic Mad. Yep, he will that. You can imagine Peter Lotwell just now. He's probably sitting under his desk going, I knew I shouldn't have left the job. I gave him one job. I gave him one task. Don't spend the cash. And what does he do? He spends the cash. He spends the cash. He gets so excited. The bidding war comes in. It's like taking your kid to a sweetie shop and there's an auction for the sweeties. Anyway, Paul says half an hour for Sanchez to come in. I don't think it is going to be Sanchez, but we'll see if there is any more signings that are going to come in as Celtic this afternoon. See if there is any more Celtics. Jesus, we're all over the place. Let me just check these messages that I'm getting to try and see if there's any truth. Right, let me just grab this and see. The Belgian player. See if I can find out anything more. Nah. He's out injured. No, take that as nonsense. I think McGowan will be the last one. No, I can't see it. Can't see it happening. I think McGowan will be the last one of the night. I think Celtic will make. There we go. We're at Celtic Park. Confirmed on Sky right now. Scout, confirming it. Is that business done and dusted though? Is like Luke McCowan the last piece of business that Celtic will do tonight? There is 30 minutes to go in the transfer window. If they're going to get this guy in at Celtic Park, he needs to be on the road from Dundee. He maybe doesn't stay in Dundee. He maybe stays closer to Glasgow than Dundee. But will he have got the paperwork done and dusted before the end of the transfer window? Looking like it will. Update: Dundee have accepted. Yeah, there's Anthony Joseph now coming up with it. You're a bit late tonight, mate. Dundee have accepted the $1 million bid from Celtic for captain Luke McCowan. The clubs are looking to finalise the deal before deadline. It can use the deadline sheet can be used for an extension if clubs show that they are in an advanced stage with the transfer. So even though there is half an hour to go with the deadline, if they can prove that the paperwork was started, the paperwork trail has started already, the deal has been done and dusted, they just need to get all the paperwork signed. They've got half an hour to sign it. A deal sheet can be used for an extension if clubs can show they are in an advanced stage with the transfer. So that even if it goes over the half an hour and it doesn't get pen to paper within the half an hour, there is a little bit of leeway. So it looks like Celtic will get that door in the door. I can see a fan's point of view regarding McCowan. Yes, he plays for Dundee last season, but it was the best centre mid in the league. If you look at if you took out the Glasgow clubs. So according to Lanky, he says that we're getting the best centre midfield. When you take away Celtic and Rangers, you're getting the best centre midfield player in the Scottish League last season, out with Celtic and Rangers. So what does that mean coming to Celtic? Will make him a better player. Either way, it looks like he is on his way to Celtic Park at the moment, and we're going to get two last minute. Well, we know the big deal. Arnie Eagles is in the building. We're just waiting on Celtic updating the website and putting the official information out there that he is a Celtic player. They haven't done it yet. They will announce it on their website before they announce it anywhere else. Is a done deal, even though we all know it is, and he's in the building. Luke McCowan. That's an interesting one. I wasn't too sure about it when I heard folks say, "Can I sign my name in 2 seconds?" I can sign my name in 2 seconds. I think it's the fact that they've got to get him in for Dundee and everything. Do you know what I mean? So it is a late one. Hibernian, remember, it was only a couple of hours ago that Hibernian put in an £800,000 offer for Luke, and they were hoping to get him under Celtic's nose. They put in an 800,000 bid. That was refused. Celtic then went back and went in with a £1 million offer for Luke, and they have accepted that. And the player, rather than going to Edinburgh, is now heading up the M8 and heading towards Glasgow and Celtic Park, which is absolutely fantastic news for Celtic. One more to go. Sanchez, please, says Paul. Paul Baird says Luke is a squad player at best. Paul, we all know he's a squad player, but when you have Callum McGregor, say, playing in Champions League, say he does play in Callum McGregor's position, right? If you're, say, for cup games, is he good enough for a Scottish Cup run? Is he good enough for the League Cup? If we're going to cup competitions like that, where we need to start rotating the squad a little bit more. The manager spoke about it today. It's going to be very much a squad performance between now and the end of the season. It is going to be, squad rotation is going to be used a lot more. Paul says, one more to go. He wants Sanchez in. Joseph Davison says, is the squad game today? Yeah, it is that, Jason. Lanky, he's back in the house. Lanky, what an awesome transfer window. Good evening, troops. Lanky is back in the building. He is. I hope you had a good night out, fella, and congratulations for your birthday tomorrow. What a birthday weekend you're going to have. An absolutely fantastic draw in the Champions League with Celtic. Absolutely brilliant transfer window it's turned out to be. Even though it wasn't at the start, it was a slow start. It was a slow burner of a transfer window. We've managed to get out a lot of deadwood, but has it made us better? Well, only time will tell. Scotty Boy says, if it's nearly done, the transfer, medical, etc., hits 11, surely you can get a 2-hour extension. Yep, I've just reported that. You can get a little extension if you could prove that the transfer started before 11 o'clock. Engels is still listed on the other site. The Huns are blocking the roads. They probably are blocking the roads to make sure. All right, Baz, doing a 40th birthday party gig. Hail, hail. Martin's doing a 40th birthday party gig. Jeez, good on you. I'm just trying to see if there's any. Paddy Power, John McGinn signed to make Villa weaker. Could you imagine? Lanky, just chilling with my boys tonight. Bottle, all good. Thanks, troops. Big shout out to Lanky, whose birthday is tomorrow. We're sitting with 1,138 people at this exact moment of the live. That puts us in there with some of the big boys in the Celtic channels, I've got to admit. And I'm very proud of it. I'm also very proud of the fact also, if you missed the live earlier tonight, we did cross over the 18,500 mark that we had set for the summer transfer window. Sorry, I've been on for God knows how many hours now. But we surpassed it and we hit 18,533. The next target is 18,888. That's the target. So as soon as we get to that, the next target will be 20,000. We're not going to look at it again. Obviously, 19,000 will be a momentous day when we do get to that. And I got quite emotional earlier. If you didn't see that, I did get quite emotional. The fact that just an ex-council lad for a little place in Fife in Scotland can get to do this and talk Celtic and get his throat burning, and it's an amazing thing. It is an amazing thing. But anyway, it is all about Celtic. It's not about me. It is about Celtic. We've 1,132 people on the live at the current moment. We do. Boy for Benny offers in. He said it's been a successful window. We did a poll earlier. Boy for Benny offer. And a lot of people said, yes, it has been a successful window. Let me just see what is going on in the land of... So Luke McCowan is done and dusted. We're now just waiting to see. So this is the transfer window so far this summer that Celtic have made. Paulo Bernardo was brought in for the club for 3.5 million. Sinisalo was brought in for 1 million. Kasper Schmeichel was brought in for free. Adam Ida was our next one in at a total price of 9.5 million. And then was Alex Valle, who comes in on loan, and the loan fee is 1.3 million. And he comes in from Barcelona. The big one is Arne Engels at 10.1 million, this says, but the total fee is 13 million. Austin Trusty was signed before him at 6 million, and then if Luke McCowan comes into Celtic, which he has done, which he is in the process of doing, it takes the net spend of Celtic this summer to over £33.2 million. If anybody had said at the beginning of the transfer window that Celtic were going to spend £33 million, what would you have said? Give me the honest answer in the comment section. I think when you look at that, you cannot complain. You cannot have a dig at the board. They've dug deep into their pockets. We've surpassed the money that we brought in for the one and only Matt O'Reilly, but we have also made a lot of money in this transfer window. So when you look at it, we've probably not, when it comes out, it'll show that we've actually not spent too much money. But we have spent big this summer. Paulo Bernardo, getting him for 3.5 million, considering they wanted 6 million for him. You've got to say it was a good piece of business. It took a bit longer to get done than I thought it should have. Sinisalo was one for the future. He's the one who is to learn the ropes under Kasper Schmeichel. He is the goalkeeper for the future, and he was brought in for £1 million. Schmeichel was brought in for free. Adamida, obviously, Valley, Engels, Austin Trusty, Luke McGowan. I never thought for 1 minute that we would bring in as many players as what we have done this window. I thought the board would have made Brendan Rodgers stick with some of the players that was brought in last summer. The fact that some players were only brought in just 12 months ago now, and they haven't cut the mustard, says a lot for Brendan Rodgers. It says that Brendan Rodgers, for me, is well in control of the football club. As much as a lot of people do not like the board, Brendan Rodgers tonight has made sure that everyone in and around the club knows that Brendan is the one that is in control. We've spent a lot of good money. We've brought in a number of players that can only benefit the squad and make us better. But we did say that last year. So let's throw caution to the wind before we're thinking that there's... That's for oh boy. Let's not overly excited. Let's throw caution into the wind with some of these players that are coming in, because let's face it, we brought in 9 players last summer and we spent 7 million on 2 centre backs. We spent 7 million on 2 players and they didn't work out at Celtic. Hopefully Brendan Rodgers has made sure that the recruitment team has done their job this year. Make sure that the recruitment board has done their job this year. But Brendan Rodgers, in his interview today, did say, look, there has been a lot of work. I've got a great team here. I've got a great load of coaches. I've got a great backroom staff. I've got a great recruitment team who've been working tirelessly over the summer. And what he should have said, Brendan, was every time that I think that we're about to get a player in the door and we don't, the recruitment team then comes up with another player that fits the bill, and I have a look over him, and then we go, and then we can try and work on him. Brendan Rodgers has been working tirelessly. He knows that he said that he's been working long days at Celtic Park, at Lennoxtown, not Celtic Park, where the manager's office is at Lennoxtown and not in the ground. And he has been working tirelessly over the last couple of weeks, doing long nights, looking at players, and it looks like that he's got his way. Finally. Chubble says if we get in the next stage of the Champions League, it's worth 10 million for the 2 games. Naomi says graffiti on the wall says we're magic. The Huns have said they have signed. Don't care. It's getting to the end of the window now. I am absolutely scurred. My legs are done. I've been on this for over 3 hours and 17 minutes. 3 hours and 17 minutes we've been on this live. There's one thing, I'll sleep tomorrow. But the downside is there's been only 530 thumbs up. There's been over 10,000 views on the video this evening. Over 10,000 views in 3 hours is absolutely fantastic. But there's only 532 thumbs up on the channel. Make sure that you give the video a thumbs up. And it doesn't matter now. Do you know what? It's cool. Do what you like. 33 million, the board are well pleased. Yep. Trooper Baz says, Chilpill, I tell you one thing, I'll not be in a rush to do the live tomorrow morning. And I'm definitely getting a standing desk. Can't do things like this if you've not got a standing desk. Leon Tim is your tea. The Huns signed Chelsea striker Baz Fuken Skint. It's breaking news. I'm not even going down that road, Kaiser. It's far too late for that nonsense. Done on my way in, says Celtic girl. She's on her way in. It looks like the Celtic business made. Oh, there's. Just wait till I see this. So right, Brendan's got full control. Yes, you were, mate. You were right. Brendan does have full control, which is good. I'm just replying to your message. I'm not sure you're still alive, but yeah, he has, and I'm glad he has also. Yeah, I'm over the moon that Brendan Rodgers is in control, because I think for what happened the last time when he left Celtic. Interesting. I think when Brendan Rodgers left Celtic under a cloud the last time, and a lot of fans thought that he walked out on Celtic. Brendan Rodgers didn't want to leave Celtic. Brendan Rodgers told Celtic that he was going to leave at the end of that season. He did tell Celtic that he was going to leave at the end of that season after we didn't get the McGinn transfer that he wanted. But when in come Leicester, and as soon as Leicester came in through the door, the one and only Lawwell had one thing on his mind, and that was getting compensation for the manager. And then the rest is history. The rest is history. The manager came back. He had an interesting first season. Brendan Rodgers had a trying first season, considering the amount of players that were injured throughout the whole season as it went on, especially at the start of the season. For Brendan Rodgers to go out and go to Liverpool struggling on the last day of the transfer window to try and get a defender in on loan because Cameron Carter-Vickers was injured, and then have to go to Nat Phillips. Nat Phillips, who's went out on loan for a year again this year from Liverpool, it has to be said. Brendan Rodgers had a lot of work. He had his work cut out through the season. He was offered these 9 players that were coming into Celtic. He took the advice of the backroom staff. He took the advice of the people that were in charge of the recruitment department at the time, and he was told that they were good players. He then worked with the players himself. And remember, for the first half of the season, it was all against us. There was all the headlines were against us last season. The media were against us last season. Everything that could go wrong at Celtic was going wrong. If it wasn't the board, it was the manager. If it wasn't the manager, it was the fans. It got to the stage where the Green Brigade were locked out again last season for about a quarter of the season, locked out and watching the games from the Celtic Supporters Club down on London Road, just outside Barrowfield training camp, where they're building this brand new £8 million. And you've got to remember as well, Celtic have started building the academy training centre for the women and the younger team as well as spending 33 million this summer. So Brendan Rodgers achieved a fantastic amount last summer. The fact that he's got so many of these players out the door this window, he's managed to get rid of them out the door. He wanted to keep Mikey Johnson. Mikey Johnson then went out on loan. You know, he wanted to keep players that he knew, like, and trusted. But he's managed to trim the squad down. And he's trimmed the squad down, and hopefully we can only hope that he's got a right call this time. Now, when he was here the last time at Celtic, he didn't bring in. There wasn't too many players that Brendan brought in the last time that weren't up to the mark. There weren't too many players that Brendan brought in his first time at Celtic where you could say that was a crap signing, Brendan. Do you know, that didn't happen too many times. The fact that Brendan Rodgers is fully in control now, it looks as if he's getting his players in. He's getting the type of players in, and that can only mean one thing. The rest of Scottish football needs to look out, because we're on a roll again. The good times roll. The good times roll. Brendan's back in control, and the good times roll. Lana Gallagher says, Kieran sure has been magic through. Kieran says, oh, it's been a long night. It has been a long night. I have been on for 3 hours and 22 minutes now, and we've had a total of over 11,000 views now. 11,000 views in those 3 hours. There is picture of Big Ben on the TV screen. There's 12 minutes to go. 12 minutes to go until the transfer window slams shut. Can Celtic make an announcement? Let's update the Celtic official website. Celtic need to make the announcement just shortly. The one and only Arnie is in the building. He's walking about. Oh man, I'm starting to seize up and everything. Thank goodness transfer windows only once a year. Breaking news, the Rangers are coming. Can't take it anymore. Seriously, can't take it anymore. Oh, I hate to paint the wall. I've just scratched the wall. Anyway, 1,186 people still on the live. Over 11,000 have watched the video so far. Bags lagging. Yep, I am lagging. Let me see how many people we do have. Subscriber-wise, we've got 18,542. trying to get to 1888 is the next one. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure we get to that, and then we'll need to try and hold it that for a day just so I can get a screenshot. So the day that happens, I'll need to go live that day actually. So the day, as we get closer to it, we will go to a live, and I'll get it on a screen to make it a little bit more exciting. Anyway, go stretch the legs. I can't see them. I can't see them either. Come on, Celtic. Breaking news, Rangers are shitting it for Sunday. The thing is the players that are coming in, any update on McCowan? Yes, it's a done deal. Flying column, it is a done deal. He is, Dundee have accepted the offer. The transfer talks have still to be signed. There is leeway for the paperwork to be done and dusted just after the window. But as it stands, they have accepted, Dundee have accepted just over £1 million for Luke. The total players that we have brought in. It'll be the recruitment team that gets an overhaul. Yes, it will be. It will be that. The players that have came in the window so far: Paulo Bernardo, 3.5 million; Sinisalo, 1 million; Casper Schmeichel, 3; Adam Ida, 9.5 million; and Alex Valle from Barcelona. He comes in at 1.3 million. Arne Engels, who is just about to be announced, his total value is 13 million, but it is 11 million in the first instance, but the total is 13 million that we're going to be paying for him. It's a guaranteed 13 million. Austin Trusty was announced earlier this evening, a couple of hours ago now by Celtic, at 6 million. Luke McGowan coming in at 1 million plus add-ons. And just to update the Celtic site, they haven't updated it just yet with only 9 minutes to go in the window. There you go. It is on Sky. It just went along the ticker on Sky that Celtic have done the deal for Luke McCowan. McCowan. Luke McCowan. It is a done deal. So there is 3 signings in on the last day of transfer window. We will keep updating a few things just to check. Let me just check this. I think that those will be the last ones. I can't see anyone else. Let me just do a quick search. Oh. Never swung. Dundee have accepted the bid for Luke McCowan. We're just waiting. We're in the final few minutes of the transfer window. I'd like to thank everyone that has been on the live this night. Welcome to Celtic. Arnie announced. Is announced. There we go. Celtic have just announced it. Arne Engels signs for Celtic on a 4-year deal. Celtic Football Club are delighted to announce the signing of Arne Engels. Awata has left the building also. Breaking news that Awata is away to Birmingham. Just getting a message through for that. Tomoki Awata has left the building also. But let's get back to the Celtic news. Arne Engels has entered the building. He has signed a 4-year deal with Celtic. The 20-year-old Belgian midfield player progressed through the ranks of Club Brugge Academy, and before the step up to Bruges reserve side and then Club Next. In 2023, he signed for German side FC Augsburg, or he's sent for the Germans, and over 50 appearances in the Bundesliga, the international level. Engels featured for Belgium at every level from under 15s to under 21s, and was also called up to the Belgian first team squad for the Euro warm-up match against Montenegro this summer. He was also included in the latest Belgian squad for the upcoming Nations League campaign, which was announced today, the 30th. So he was called up to the Belgian squad today. Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers says, "We are delighted to bring Arne to Celtic." He was back. He's an exciting young player of real quality and has made his mark already at a high level in the Bundesliga. He has a wide range of attributes which will allow him to play on a number of positions in midfield. We feel he is an excellent acquisition for the club. I think Arne's style of play, his energy, his technical ability will really suit the game model that Celtic have. Celtic will always be our priority. It's fantastic to know that Arne is now receiving his full international recognition with the Belgian squad, something that he is very deserving of. And that was Brendan Rodgers talking about the one and only Arne Engels. It is a done deal. Celtic have done it. They've spent over £11 million on one player. A fantastic end to the transfer window. Celtic have now got 5 minutes to announce the one and only Luke McCown from 4 minutes and 14 seconds until the transfer window slams shut for the evening. We have been on the go for 3 hours and 30 minutes, and there's been over 11,446 people have watched live. Currently 1,200 people watching it at this exact moment, which is fantastic. Baz, we said there would be three signings in one day. Yes, we did that. Oh man, we're all over the place. No wonder. Brendan Rodgers. How many records will be broken this season under Brendan Rodgers? Says Spacey. Craig says, now it feels like the beginning of a new era. I said that at the beginning of the transfer deadline day video tonight. It felt like a new era. It felt like a new beginning. I said it earlier on in the video that Brendan Rodgers has taken full control of the transfer department at Celtic. Under Ange Postecoglou, when he came into Celtic, it was ushered in as a new dawn for Celtic. It was ushered in as this new way of thinking, this new fast-paced football, this new way of dealing with transfers. But Ange ultimately had to succumb to Celtic just going for project players. When he left to head down south, Brendan Rodgers came back to the club, and he ultimately took the last year to say, no, this is not the way that we need to go forward as Celtic. Celtic need to progress, and the only way that we can progress is by getting the players in that I want and getting them in a level of player. Over the last season, we've watched 9 project players come into the club last summer. They haven't featured very much at Celtic at all, and a few of them have left the club already. One is Lagerbielke. The fact that Tomoki Iwata has now left the building also. It seems to be the fact Baz will be on a mobility scooter tomorrow. I'll not be getting in my bed tomorrow. It's a 3-hour stint on a chair, a couple of 10-minute breaks. It was actually good that I managed them. Anyway, and calm. 3 minutes left in the transfer window. 3 minutes left of the transfer window. The fact that we have got the players in that we wanted tonight. Luke McCown is the only player that has not been officially announced by Celtic. He is the one and only that hasn't been officially announced by Celtic, but that is incoming shortly. Am I staying around for that one? Not a chance. As soon as the window shuts, I'm going to my bed. Let me just see this one. Take me to your paradise. I'm really looking forward to see Luke McCown at Celtic and see what he can do in this midfield. I got some information sent earlier by Lanky, and it shows that outside Celtic and Rangers, he was the most dynamic midfielder in the Scottish League. So the guys that do the stats and everything at Celtic will know everything about him. Brendan Rodgers is a stats man. We're about to shut down. The window is about to shut. 49 seconds. 46 seconds. The transfer window is about to close for the evening. Celtic Medical in London, that's old news. That's done and dusted. Deal line. Sky need to catch up. Good podcast tonight. We put in a shift and a half. It did that. Paradise Found. 3 hours, 33 minutes, 34. We haven't finished just yet. I'm not going right at the end of the window. I'm going to stick around to see exactly 16 seconds, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're not going anywhere. Don't go anywhere, because even though the window has closed, Celtic still have one more announcement to make. They have one more announcement to make. I'm going to stay on for a bit. Time is it's midnight. I better. The window is officially she said shut. She never said slammed shut. She said the window is officially shut. That is it. We have done it. Marathon. Absolute marathon. We're still waiting on Celtic. We are still waiting on Celtic making that last announcement. We're waiting on Celtic. People are saying cheers, Baz. They're going to don't start dropping off now. There's 1,266 people on the live. Maybe we should call it a night, and we'll just wake up to the news tomorrow. Business has actually been good this year, so it has that. Well done, Bazaboy. It's absolutely fantastic. We've had so far 11,792 people have watched the video this evening. Absolutely fantastic amount. The window has closed, but we are still waiting on Celtic making that final announcement. I'm just going to take that. Let me just go to that. I'm going to stick a post up on the community tab since the window has closed. Let me just do this. I've just put a post up in the community tab. I'm sure you like that. It's got all the signings that we've made this summer. Let me just get some stats. Update this. What an absolutely amazing night tonight. It's been a fantastic tonight. We are still waiting on Celtic. Let me just do this. Wow, the members is just off the scale also. Let's jump back into the comments. 1,254. Still a lot of people on the live. We are just waiting on an official announcement for Celtic. Did we get Malaya's? Yes, we did. Carly, we did get McCowan. We did get him. That is a done deal. It's not been officially announced as yet. Sky are a bit late to the party, saying that Celtic have just signed Arnie Engels. Baz, check out for Sky there, saying Arnie has signed. Yeah, I know. They're way behind, way behind us. B10 Hacker, there's €2. Mon the Hoops. Can't wait for Sunday. Yes, I can't wait for Sunday and the Champions League also. The signings. I'm just going to put that. I'll see if I can do it on this actually. There we go. No, it's not going to let me. There's too much text, isn't it? There we go. There's the players. I've put it up on the community tab. There's the players signing so far. Paulo Bernardo, Sinasalo, Casper Schmeichel, Adam Ida, Alex Valley, Arnie Engels, Austin Trusty, and Luke McCowan. Luke McCowan is in. Loan for Awata. It's a loan deal for Awata. What? A loan deal for Awata. Well, that's interesting. At least he's out the door. Let me just check. I've got messages on WhatsApp. So when you think about it, last summer Last summer, Celtic spent around about 19 million. Celtic spent 19 million on 9 players. This summer, we've brought in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players. I never thought we were needing 8 players. We've brought in 8 players and spent in Valleys on loan with no option to buy. $29 million, 30 million on players, about 33 million spent altogether when you look at the total prices. Anyway, right, I'm going to start closing some windows down. It's been an absolutely immense night. Still waiting on an official announcement by Celtic. Engels. Colour, I'm going to get to that till later on. We'll wait and see. This crew better be good. They better be. This amount of players that we've brought in better be good. That's to say the least. Baz, the hand of God. Bed is waiting. Great content, mate. Some of the rest, she's going to. Yeah, she's going to need something to do tomorrow's video. Yeah, I'm going to call it a night for tonight. It's been absolutely fantastic. It's midnight here in Spain. It's just after 11 o'clock we use back in Celtic. A massive thank you to everyone who watched the video tonight, who commented on the video. A big shout out to everyone who done a super chat. First up, to the new members, first of all. Mark was a new member, the One Celtic Fan View. Mark Scott also made a donation. Thanks for the great content, Baz. James Beattie also did a super chat, $9.99. He tried to say "F you," and that didn't come through. Lorna Gallagher said, "Get yourself a pint, Baz. You've earned it." I think that. Chilpel says, "Great night tonight, great podcast." Also, B10 Hacker says, "Mono Hoops, can't wait for Sunday." Kieran says, "Good luck," and he's made a super chat also to the channel. It's been an absolutely fantastic night. None of this is possible. None of this is possible without you lot, without the 12,300 people that have watched the video so far. Well, it has been an absolutely buzzing transfer window for Celtic. I am done and dusted. I've been on for 3 hours, 41 minutes. I should just stay on for the next 20 minutes, should I? Nah, I better not. I better let her go to bed. Anyway, Baz, you're done. Go to your missus. Yeah, I have that. On that note, thanks to everyone that's watched it. We've burst the ceiling tonight. We've got 18,556. Thanks to everyone who's subscribed. If my throat's up for it, I'll see you tomorrow morning. And on that note, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans.